Live from Maverik Center in the Salt Lake Valley, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As it's the last of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Gladiators. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's Teddy Bear Toss night here at Maverik Center. We're certainly thrilled, and it's a big night. And looks like we've already got a pretty good crowd, maybe the biggest crowd we've had all week, and one of the biggest crowds we've had all season, as it's Teddy Bear Toss night, one of hockey's great traditions. It began in December of 1993, and it's a tradition that's gone back about 3 decades. And every level except for the National Hockey League has Teddy Bear Toss night. The first Teddy Bear Toss night was on December 5th of 1993 as the Kamloops Blazers. And thanks to marketing director Don Larson, came up with Teddy Bear Toss night. And it was on December 5th, 1993, where a goal scored by Brad Lukowitz. Lukowitz, who had 2 Stanley Cups to his name. He won in 1999 with the Dallas Stars and 2004 with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He scored the first Teddy Bear Toss goal. And who's it going to be tonight? It's going to be Griffin Ness. He's got 4 goals in his last 3 Saturdays. How about Danny Geneva? He has 5 goals this season. Could be Reed Lepster. Leads the Grizzlies with 10 goals on the year. Utah's looking to salvage the third and final game of the series. Utah last night lost 5-1 to the Atlanta Gladiators as Isaac Walters scored 2 goals. As of last night, they said he had scored 3 goals, but the second goal that the Gladiators scored, which was their first in the second period, was actually scored by Cody Sylvester. Upon further review, they said that Walter didn't get a piece of the puck, and there's the goal for watching on Flow Hockey. Apparently, Walter didn't get a piece of it. It glanced off the Salem stick and into the back of Utah's net. And Ryan Nolan, he made it a 4-0 hockey game as he scored in the third period. And the Grizzlies did get on the board as Riley Connors found the back of the net, redirecting a Colby end shot, and that was with less than 5 minutes left in regulation. Play got physical at times in the third period. Griffin Ness getting after it with Chad Nychuk. And Griffin Ness, he's been outstanding for the Grizzlies as of late. He's my pick for the first goal. There's Utah's goal for watching on Flow Sports. Colby ends fired towards the net. Riley Connors, net front. As the puck ended up trickling past TJ Semptimphelter, so Grizzlies fans had something to cheer about. Shots were pretty close to even in last night's game. Utah outshot Atlanta 29-27. TJ Semptimphelter, the Atlanta goaltender, got the victory. He saved 28 of 29, and Dylan Wells saved 22 of 27. As the Atlanta Gladiators won the special teams battle, they were 1 for 3 on the power play, and the Grizzlies were 0 for 4. So we'll see what happens here tonight. Utah's looking for their first victory against Atlanta this season. Utah's 0-2-1 or 0-3-1 against the Gladiators. And, for Utah, they're going to need contributions from just about everybody. They're facing a tough Atlanta team who's got a record of 16-5 on the year. Christian Felton's been good against Atlanta. He's got 2 goals in 4 games against the Gladiators. Danny Geneva has 3 assists. And Evan Friesen and Luke Salem each have 1 goal and 1 assist against Atlanta. So it should be a ton of fun. Grizzlies have to watch out for Isaac Walter, even though it wasn't a hat trick last night. It was a 2-goal performance. He has 3 2-goal games against the Grizzlies this season. 6 goals for Isaac Walter in 4 games against Utah. So he's going to be a tough one to contend with, and it should be interesting tonight. We got a new goaltender tonight. Kazimir Kassiasuo is going to make his Grizzlies debut. He's got 72.4 thousand YouTube subscribers, and he has 2 NHL games to his credit. He played in 1 game with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 2019-2020 season, and then he played in 15 minutes of a game with the Nashville Predators in the 2020-21 campaign. Atlanta is going to counter with Ethan Hyder as their goaltender. He got the victory on Wednesday night as Hyder saved 27 of 30. And so Ethan Hyder, he's got a pretty good record. He is 8-2 on the season. Kassiasuo making his Grizzlies debut. Last year, he spent games with Bloomington. He played in 10 games with Bloomington and 2 games with the Norfolk Admirals. It's Teddy Bear Toss night, and there's a lot of fans that brought multiple teddy bears to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. Should be a ton of fun. Looks like a good crowd's filing in here to a Saturday night. It's the Grizzlies' final home game until Christmas. As Grizzlies will be home December 26th and 27th against Idaho. But, hey, if you want to get some Christmas shopping done and watch some great hockey here at Maverik Center, come on down. We got some good seats still available, and it should be a fun atmosphere. Grizzlies are wearing specialty jerseys for the occasion. They are wearing a ugly sweater-themed specialty jersey. It is certainly an interesting look. They've got socks to match, and so that will be a fun, festive look, and the Grizzlies are looking for a victory to close out the homestand in style. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll talk more about the history of the teddy bear toss and also go over some performers who've done a great job for the Grizzlies as of late. We'll even go over the resume of Casimir Cassiasuo, who's making his Grizzlies debut. We're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 15 minutes from now as the Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Gladiators for the fifth and final time this season. Casimir Cassiasuo is making his Grizzlies debut. He is 6'3", 195 pounds. He played with two different teams last year. He spent 2 games of the Norfolk Admirals and 10 games of the Bloomington Bison, where he had a 3-4-2 record with a .911 save percentage. We did mention that he's got 2 games of NHL experience on his resume. He's also got plenty of time in the American Hockey League, where he spent a couple of years with the Toronto Marlies, as well as just about a full season with the Chicago Wolves in the 2017-2018 campaign. He had a couple different stints with the Marlies. He played in 57 games combined for 2 seasons from 2018 through 2020. 2 years ago, he played in 13 games with Laval Rocket and had a 7-4 record with a .909 save percentage. Cassiasuo is out of Finland. He's 32 years old, 6'3", and 195 pounds. He'll be the starting goaltender for the Grizzlies tonight. Kyle Kaiser is the backup. Well, the Grizzlies have had some outstanding performers so far in the month of December. Danny Genev was left off the scoring sheet last night, although Genev does have 7 assists in 5 games in the month of December. He is currently second among league rookies with 15 assists. He's tied for second among rookies with 20 points. And he does lead the league among rookies with 7 power play assists. So watch out for Danny Genev. The first-year pro out of Penn State's been outstanding so far this season. He's a favorite for the league's all-rookie team here a couple months into the Utah Grizzlies' final hunt. Reed Lepster, you also got to watch out for him. He scored some clutch goals for the Grizzlies this year. He leads Utah with 10 goals and 4 game-winning goals on the season. And Mr. Saturday Night's been Griffin Ness. He has 4 goals in his last 3 Saturday games. Utah's actually been a pretty good Saturday night club. They are 4-1-1 on Saturdays this season. So we'll see what Utah brings here tonight. They're looking to salvage the 3rd game of the series. Atlanta won by a 6-3 score on Wednesday. Christian Felton, Evan Friesen, and Luke Salem each scored a goal for Utah. And even though the Grizzlies outshot the Gladiators 31-15, it was Atlanta that came away with a 6-3 victory. Utah did have a good night on the special teams on Wednesday. They were 1 for 6 on the power play and a perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. And they also added a shorthanded goal. Public enemy number 1 among Grizzlies fans' eyes has definitely been Isaac Walters. Got 6 goals against the Grizzlies this season, including 3 2-goal games. Obviously, special team is going to be a big factor in this game. They'll also keep an eye on the shot count. The Grizzlies, as of late, have been a pretty high-volume shot team. Over the last 8 games, they're averaging 35 shots per game. Hopefully, everything's squared away on Flow Sports. Apparently, there's a couple technical glitches, but hopefully we'll be able to present tonight's game, as it should be a ton of fun. It looks like a really good crowd, maybe the biggest crowd the Grizzlies have had all season, is filing into Maverik Center. And it's one of the festive atmospheres of the year, as after all, it's the Teddy Bear Toss, which dates all the way back to the Kamloops Blazers in the 93-94 season, December 5th, 1993. Brad Lukowitz scored the Teddy Bear Toss goal. Lukowitz won 2 Stanley Cups, one in 1999 with the Stars and one in 2004 with the Lightning. He had a long NHL career. And I'm not sure we're going to break the record that's been set by the Hershey Bears many times over. Last year, the Hershey Bears had 102,343 stuffed animals or teddy bears, and that building only holds about, 10, maybe 11,000. So you're talking about, on average, the person in attendance are tossing 10 teddy bears. I see quite a few people with big-time bags, with big-time stuffed animals. I even got a couple myself that I've been given that I need to toss on the ice after the goal. Nick Hayes gave me this one. I think Kayla provided me with one, and we also got the Grizzlies bear that we'll get out on the ice as well. So we're going to have a ton of fun here tonight, and we'll see if the Grizzlies can get one early. And my pick for the Teddy Bear Toss goal is definitely going to be Griffin Ness, who's been Mr. Saturday Night for the Grizzlies as of late. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Let's go over the lineups tonight. First for the visiting Atlanta Gladiators, who are off to a fast 16-5 start to the season. They are 7-3 on the road. They've got a pretty good 1-2 combination in net. Ethan Hyder got the victory on Wednesday. He's got a record of 8-2 with a .922 save percentage. TJ Semptonfelter got the win last night, stopping 28 of 29. Hyder's going to get the start in net. He is 6'4" and 190 pounds. This will be his 11th game of the season. The starting defensive pairing is Chad Nychuk, who's a plus 16 this year, and he has 3 goals and 16 assists in 20 games. And he's going to be paired up with Jack Mateer, who's got an NHL contract with the Nashville Predators. The Predators are the Gladiators NHL affiliate, and the Milwaukee Admirals are their AHL affiliate. So the starting defensive pairing is going to be Nychuk and Mateer. You also see Ryan Conroy paired up with Brendan Less, and Andrew Jarvis is paired up with Dylan Carabia. Carabia, native of Sebastian, Florida. So that's the 6th defenseman for Matt Ginn's crew. Starting forwards are Alex Young, who's got 7 goals and 12 assists and a plus 12 rating in 21 games. Ryan Nolan scored a goal in the third period last night. He has 7 goals and 7 assists in 21 games. And Ryan Francis, who's a plus 4 this year. Francis has 3 goals and 7 assists in 21 games. So that's the starting forwards. That's the second forward line on the lineup sheet of Matt Ginn. Cody Sylvester is lined up with Louis Boudon and Isaac Walter. Third forward line is Mickey Burns, Joey Cipollone, and Carson Denemy. And the fourth forward line is Riley Appelt with Ethan Scardina and Peter Morgan. So that's the lineup for the Atlanta Gladiators. Now for the homestanding Utah Grizzlies, who are led by head coach John Buchanan. Assistant coaches are Ryan Anderson and Jack Skilley. Equipment manager is DJ McFarland, and the head athletic trainer is Brooke Timoney. Grizzlies come in with a record of 9-12-2 on the year. They're 2-7-1 here in the friendly confines at Maverik Center. And the Grizzlies are looking to find a way to close out the homestand in style. It's the Grizzlies' final home game before the Christmas break. They will be on the road 3 times next weekend, 2 against the Kansas City Mavericks and 1 against the Tulsa Oilers. We'll get the starting lineup from PA announcer Mark Larson shortly. It is an interesting one as Kasimir Kaskisuo is going to make his Grizzlies debut. Kaskisuo is his last name. 2 games in the NHL, 1 with Toronto in the 2019-2020 season, and 1 the following year. He played in 15 games in a game with the Nashville Predators during the 2020-21 season. Referees are skating on the ice. Emil Sharon is the lone referee tonight. The linesmen are Andy Van Wagener and Andrew Collins. It's a very festive atmosphere here at Maverik Center as the Grizzlies are wearing specialty jerseys for the occasion. And it's certainly an interesting look. Go to the Grizzlies social media channels to find out what those specialty jerseys look like. And obviously, if you're watching on Flow Sports, you'll see them here shortly. The Gladiators are hitting the ice in a black jersey with white numbers, white lettering in the back, and a little bit of light blue mixed in. No, it's not the Utah Mammoth. They are reminiscent of the Atlanta Knights, who played in the IHL in the 1990s. And the Knights actually won the IHL's Turner Cup in 1994. And then the Utah Grizzlies won in back-to-back years. One is the Denver Grizzlies in 95 and their first year in Utah in 1996. Frisbee's waving the flag at center ice. The Grizzlies hit the ice in their specialty jerseys. They've got white helmets with a multicolored ugly sweater, green numbers, a little bit of, I'd say, yellow mixed in. I'm not sure what kind of shade of yellow it is. Certainly an interesting multicolored look as Frisbee's got the spotlight on him at center ice. And we'll get the starters from public address announcer Mark Larson. We did mention one starter, Kasimir Kaskisuo, is making his Grizzlies debut. He'll be wearing number 29. Kyle Kaiser is the backup. Now let's hear the starting lineups from Mark Larson, which includes our most valuable Bear. Old number 95, Grisby. Where's number 95? Because after all, 1995 was the year the Grizzlies came into the Salt Lake Valley. Here are the Grizzlies starters from Mark Larson.
Starting on defense, wearing number 5, Kobe Ed. On defense, wearing number 20, Aiden Hanson Buchanan. At forward, wearing number 10, Stefan Timofeyev. At forward, wearing number 26, Danny Chania. At forward, wearing number 77, Griffin Ness. And protecting our goal for the first time, wearing number 29, Kasimir Kaskisuo.
What a job by Mark Larson. Kasimir Kaskisuo is the starting goaltender. And how about that? Mark Larson nailed it on the first try. Fans still filing in here, and it looks like we got a pretty good Saturday night crowd. If you're in the area, come on out and join us. We're going to have a ton of fun, but make sure to hurry because the Grizzlies will have their fans throw the teddy bears on the ice after Utah's first goal, and it can come at any point. Could be the first 10 minutes of the game, could be the last 10 minutes. We're not really sure. Grizzlies are hoping it's a little bit sooner rather than later. Got a good uniform matchup, and it looks like we got a good night for hockey as Grizzlies will take on the Gladiators for the 5th and final time this season. That means it's the final ever meeting scheduled between the Grizzlies and Gladiators. And now we'll have our national anthem here on this Saturday night.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes
Great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Gladiators for the 5th time this season. It's the last of a 3-game series. Well, you're talking about wacky outfits. How about the one Cam Levy's wearing? He's got a bright red suit of some kind as we got a couple ceremonial puck drops before we start plays. The captains for both teams are at center ice. The Grizzlies captain Tyler Gratton in his second game back after missing 6 straight games due to an upper body injury. He'll take the ceremonial puck drop with Atlanta captain Cody Sylvester, who scored a goal in the second period last night, a goal that was originally credited to Isaac Walter, but upon a long, lengthy review earlier today, it was determined that Isaac Walter didn't actually touch the puck. It was touched by a Grizzly in Luke Salem. And it looks like I got plenty of teddy bears to throw on the ice. I've been handed 2 more to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. I got a penguin, and not to be confused with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I got another bear. Looks like he's a pretty good-sized bear. So who knows? We got at least 3, 4, maybe 5 teddy bears to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. And who knows when it's going to happen. That's one of the fun parts about hockey, especially when you get to like overtime playoff game winners where you never know when it's going to happen. Could happen in the first minute. Could happen 2 hours from now. We don't know when the Grizzlies are going to get that goal, but obviously a lot of fans have made sure to be here on time because you never know. Could be 30 seconds into the game. Could be 30 minutes into the game. We're not entirely sure. Grizzlies will start out with a strong forward line of Danny Genev with Griffin Ness and Stepan Timofeyev, and a defensive pairing of Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Colby Enns. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight include Luke Salem, Avery Winslow, Rylan Kovacevic, Christoph Filion, Daniel Amesbury, and Jack Ricketts. Neil Shea's back after missing 2 straight games. Atlanta wins the draw, and Chad Nychuk will slide it in deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah skating from right to left as we see it from high atop section 114. As Griffin Ness gets it across, Aiden Hansen-Bukata with the puck, first-year pro out of RIT in Ohio State, moves to his right. Grizzlies over the offensive line. Ness drops it to Genev, who gets it in deep as the puck slides towards the left corner boards. Stepan Timofeyev will drop it back for Ness, who gets pushed in the back by number 13, Alex Young. Puck goes up top, kept in by Hansen-Bukata. He gets it towards Genev. Danny Genev, toe drag, skates towards a high slot. He'll backhand it across. Puck ricochets off the boards. Chad Nychuk gets there. He's a plus 16 this year. He'll tap it off the stick, and the puck goes flying out to center ice. Nolan over towards Chad Nychuk, who crosses center ice, and he'll whip it around the boards. Colby Enns in his first shift of the game. He'll tap it ahead. Genev off his stick to center ice. Reed Lubster leads Utah with 10 goals. Fumbles the puck as he was battling with Isaac Walter. The top forward line for Atlanta is on the ice right now, and that's Sylvester, Louis Boudon, and Isaac Walter. Conroy drops it off as the Gladiators enter, but Louis Boudon took it away. Grizzlies get it across as Noah Gansky banks it off the boards. Reed Lubster drops it for Gratton. The Grizzlies captain takes a lefty shot and a save off of the left shoulder of Ethan Hyder. Puck goes back to Utah. Reed Lubster gets the puck. He dances back and forth, fires a sharp angled shot save. Gratton on the backhand. He's hacking away. Atlanta clears it off the near wing boards. Weinstein gets belted by Sylvester. As Weinstein will retreat back to neutral ice, Atlanta will sweep it off the near wing board. Sylvester will pitch it ahead. It's kept in by Weinstein. Grizzlies have had plenty of offensive zone time here early on. We've played about 1:45. Webster gets held up as Boudon's in the area. Ryan Conroy will feed it to the middle of the ice. Brendan Less nudges it ahead towards Walters, but it was overled for him. Grizzlies race after it deep in their own zone. Weinstein with the puck as he'll drop it for Neil Shea. He's back after missing 2 straight games. Good to have Shea back in the lineup. He's a consistent performer. As over towards the right corner, Riley Connors over to Shea, who tried to center it to Cooper Gay in his second game with Utah. Gay pushes in a Gladiator towards the glass. As Atlanta will reset up shop, they skate from left to right here in the first period. Grizz from right to left. As Gay delivers a push, he's 6'4" and 229 pounds. Played at St. Thomas last few years. He's got an NHL contract with Colorado. Aiden Hansen-Bukata pokes it away from Mickey Burns. Puck hit the opposite center ice as Nychuk gets it across towards Jack Mateer. And Mateer will tap it off a stanchion. The puck takes a rough ride towards the far corner. Cipollone hits ends in the back. Aiden Hansen-Bukata trying to gather it. Atlanta will feed it towards the right side. Walter will take a righty shot, and it's blocked off a stick. And the puck towards Kosciuszko as he's laying on the ice. He re-picks up his stick. As puck towards the left corner. Bukata in the area, so is Colby Enns. Everybody's hacking away. Looking nearby is Riley Connors. Grizzlies will tap it off the stanchion. Puck goes to center ice and beyond into the Gladiator zone. Utah hits the refresh button, but they're called for icing. So the referee is going to have to make sure the same 5 come back on the ice. 16:58 the time remaining here in the first period. It's just the start of things, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Saturday with us. Grizzlies have been a pretty good club here in the Saturday contest. They're 4-1-1 on Saturdays this year. So Draw's going to be over in the right circle. Fans still filing in here. Everybody's waiting to throw their teddy bears on the ice after Utah's first goal, and I've got about 5 or 6 I need to throw myself. Nychuk will tap it off the boards. The Gladiators get it towards Peter Morgan. He gets pushed by Hanson Bukata as Riley Appelt gets some lumber from a Grizzly. Puck goes towards Maxim Barbashev, the brother of Ivan Barbashev, the Vegas Golden Knight. Left wing shot, and that one might have been blocked off of Koskiasuo as the puck ricochets around the boards. Maxim Barbashev wearing number 92, the former Rangers draft pick, gets Degansky, who flies it out towards center ice. Long distance flight cut off by Atlanta. Scardino over the line. He'll flip it towards Morgan. Right side, his shot's blocked by Barbashev. Morgan gets it back, and he'll wing it around the wall. As Genev, by closing the gap quickly, was Ryan Francis, who has outstanding speed. Grizzlies moving out towards Gansky. Will race to center ice. Gansky, the 6'7" defenseman, will spin it around. That's his height. That's nothing to do with the meme. As behind the net, Brendan Less gets it towards Ryan Nolan, number 24, not to be confused with Nolan Ryan, the strikeout king. Ness challenges Less. The puck goes back towards Ryan Conroy as Ness and Timo Feyev delivers a blow on Conroy as the Gladiators out towards center ice. Francis over the line, right wing, dangling back and forth. He gets taken off the puck by Weinstein. Crowd likes that. Over to the right wing, and a shot's fired away as it misses wide. Dylan Karabia in his season debut. I think it's actually his Gladiators debut as well. He's wearing number 74. First time he's on the ice this season. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds. One of 6 defensemen for Matt Ginn's crew tonight. We played 4.5 minutes. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 3-1. Thanks for being in with us here tonight. Ryan Olsen gets pushed by Gratton. Olsen moves it to the middle of the ice. Grabia will fire it in deep as it ricochets off the boards. Christian Felton gets the puck. He blows a tire, falls down in the far corner. He continues to pursue the puck. As Weinstein around Utah's net, skates towards the near side. Weinstein keeps his head up, and he'll flip it. Airborne about 20 feet. It's batted by Karabia, and a hand pass is called on the Gladiators. As there's 14:59 left in the first, it's a scoreless game. And as both teams trying to play that slow-down, controlled style, Atlanta does a pretty good job of tossing and playing their style of hockey. So Grizzlies make a line change, a forward line of Tyler Gratton, Luke Manning, and Reed Lebster on the ice. Who do you think's scoring the teddy bear toss goal? I think it's going to be Griffin Ness. I'm not entirely sure when. So draws won by neutral zone, draws won by Utah. Racing down the middle is Reed Lebster. Veers off to the right, regathers the puck. He'll spin it back behind Atlanta's net. Luke Manning gets taken away on a back check. Atlanta's about as strong a back checking team as the Grizzlies will face all season. Lebster trying to break free. Nychuk had a hold of him. As Luke Manning dangling back and forth, right side lefty shot. Glove saved by Hyder. He snatched it about waist high, and he holds on with 14:41 left in the first. Good job of the Grizzlies winning a 50-50 puck, and that's going to have to be the case if they want to find a way to get victory here tonight in the last game for the Grizzlies at home before the Christmas break. Utah's got a forward line of Riley Connors, Cooper Gay, and Neil Shea. John Mechanic talking things over with the captain, Tyler Gratton. He's sporting a goatee. Connors will take the draw. He's a strong forward. He could be a potential first-line center in this league. As Cooper Gay gets the puck. Connors played in 8 games with the American Hockey League's Colorado Eagles and had 2 goals. But the Eagles are pretty deep on the forward line. Ed to Shea off his stick. Shea wearing number 22, second year with the Grizzlies. He was with Newfoundland 2 years ago and actually scored a 2-goal game on a Saturday night here at Maverik Center around Thanksgiving. Puck goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Gansky over towards Stucker, now to the left wing. It's fumbled away by Carson Denemy, the former Tulsa Oiler. Gansky gets the puck at the near goal line. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the period. Gansky stops in the near circle, and he outlets it to Shea, left wing. It's off his stick, and great outlet there. A fan tried to make a catch there about row 2, and the puck slides towards section 112. As a fan about row 3 comes away with a frozen, vulcanized rubber disc. Remember that with those Grizzlies ugly sweaters, you can bid on them on the Dash Auction app. That's right, you can get those game-worn jerseys. You can get a Reed Lebster or maybe a Naden Hanson Bukata. Colby ends, you can get any of them on the dash platform. Grizzlies rink-wide feed angle right, goes to Barbashev after Utah won the draw. Hyder plays behind his net. Barbashev lets it go towards the right point. Ends dancing back and forth, trying to get to Barbashev. It's cut off by the Gladiators, who slide it out to center ice. Peter Morgan, the little forward, number 55, throws it to the middle of the ice, trying to get towards Riley Appelt, but it goes through his legs, offside of the Gladiators. Timeout on the ice, 13:42 is the time remaining. Utah's outshot Atlanta 3-1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
.42 is left in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies have a slight shot advantage. It's important to score first here tonight, not just to get the teddy bears thrown on the ice. And they're certainly going to go for a good cause. They're going to go to local hospitals and charities and kids that need them the most. But Utah is 6-4-1 when scoring first, but they're just 3-8-1 when the opposition scores first. So it's important for Utah to get off to a fast start. They're deep in their own zone. Colby Enns whips it around the boards towards center ice. Lepster gets a stick lifted. Barbashev bounces the puck off his stick. He regathers it, drops it for John Gillette, number 24. Utah's got 12 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. Cross to Enns. He fires a righty shot, saved by Hyder. Rebound shot goes just wide as the puck slides towards the left wing. Hanson Buchanan drops to Barbashev over to Friesen. He swings and misses, gets it back. His shot is blocked about 5 feet in front of Hyder. And Atlanta will tap it off the far wing boards out to center ice. Friesen will fire it in towards Hyder, gloves it and drops it to keep the play alive. Utah's up to at least 4, maybe 5 shots on Hyder tonight. She played 7 minutes. Conroy moves to his right for Nolan, who steps over the offense line. He'll drop it back for Francis. Nolan gets blasted. Francis righty shot saved by Kaskasuo. Puck towards the right corner. Grizzlies will flop it up and not out, but it's batted by Alex Young. Young, the second-year pro. Francis gets pinned to the boards. Young throws some lumber on Genev. Puck goes back towards the pile. As Griffin Ness holding his ground. Genev trying to hack it away from Francis and Young. Grizzlies come out with the puck. Sage Weinstein will stop behind Kaskasuo's net. Weinstein fakes towards his left, and he fakes to his right. Weinstein, the 20-year-old, played in the WHL of Spokane. Holds onto the puck behind Utah's net. 12:20 on a moving clock. Utah is outshot Atlanta. Now Francis gets the puck right wing, toe drag. His righty shot, he didn't get much on it as Felton was nearby. Young over towards Nolan. He's on the right side up top to Karabia. Across as Jarvis, he'll take a lefty shot. That's blocked all the way by Kaskasuo. Puck goes back up top to Jarvis. It glances off the stick and goes back into the Gladiators zone. Grizzlies will make a full line change. We played 8 minutes, still no score. Rink wide feed angle right is incomplete. And icing is on Atlanta with 11:53 left in the first. Earlier today, Justin Taylor set a league career games played record as he appeared in his 885th game with the Adirondack Thunder against Wheeling. Not all of them were against Adirondack. He played in games with a team in Trenton, Idaho, Tulsa, Kalamazoo, Fort Wayne, and now Adirondack. So he's played with 6 different teams. He passed former Grizzly Michael Pellick, who appeared in games in a 15-season stretch. Pellick played in 884 games. Fans having a good time. Utah wins a draw. Gratton takes a lefty shot, and it's blocked. Grizzlies captain scored the teddy bear toss goal last season. That was Gianni Fairbrother. Shot from the right side. That's blocked. Gratton goes down in front of the crease. As Atlanta back in their own zone. Turnover. Gratton down the middle of the ice. Will take a lefty shot. That's blocked away by Karabia. Puck hits the outside of the cage. Karabia gets pushed to the corner by Gratton. Francis will flop it out towards center ice. And the puck hit the opposite in the Grizzlies zone. Gansky gets the puck, and he races around Kaskasuo's net. Over to the far side. Grizzlies dangling back and forth. Feed towards the middles, taken by Manning. Manning over to Lepster, left wing. Lepster fired a shot. Actually looked like more of a pass, trying to find a cutting Manning. Right side, Enns fires to the net and misses. Lepster Gets tripped up, gets it towards Enns. Enns with a righty shot, saved by Hyder. Now Enns gets it back. He fires towards the net again. Blocker saved by Hyder. Colby Enns is determined to be the Teddy Bear toss scorer here tonight, as Mateer trying to skate over the line, and once again, the Gladiators are offside. 10:53 is left in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 6-3. Looks like Utah has a little bit of an extra bounce to their step here tonight. Playing with a little bit more spunk than they did in last night's game. A lot of people wearing Christmas-themed gear. We're just, a handful of days. What is it, December 13th? We got 12 days till Christmas. Merry Christmas, says one fan. As Gladiators win the draw, they skate towards the left corner. As Boudon gets divorced from the puck, Hanson Bukata gets held up by Joey Cipolone. Puck goes to center ice. Grizzlies cross center. Connors was triple teamed and lost control of the puck as he was skating into the offensive zone. Check over to Mateer on the right wing. Mateer plops it in. Weinstein trying to corral the puck as it was about knee-high. Over in the corner, Cipolone battles with Weinstein. Connors gets bounced to the boards by Mateer. And Mateer is a pretty big defenseman. He goes about 6'6" and 205 pounds. Puck out to center ice. Shea collects it, and he'll get it to the middle of the ice. Dancing down the middle, taking the high slot shot was Connors, and he swung and missed. Conroy will backhand it towards Cipolone at center ice. Cipolone gets a shoulder check from Gansky as Utah tried to spin it around and swung and missed on it. Gillette in particular, the puck goes towards the far corner. Gansky gets these races behind Koskiasuo's net. Now he spins around as he's being challenged by Ethan Scardina. Puck to the far side. Grizzlies still in their own zone, skating from right to left. 9:44 on a moving clock, first period. Still no score as Felton will stop before he gets to the Utah line. He'll move it across to Gansky near the Grizzlies bench. Gansky ahead as it goes off of a Grizzly stick. Now Utah gets it back. It's knifed away as the Gladiators will pound it off the boards. Not the easiest numbers to spot on these specialty jerseys as the Gladiators skate down the middle of the ice. Grizzly blows a tire. Scardina gets it left side. Shot saved by God. Oh, what a job stop by a Grizzly. Hayden Hanson Bukata saves the day. And the net gets dislodged. What a play by AHB. Puck trickled past Koskiasuo, was bouncing towards the goal line, and AHB cleared it towards the near wing boards and crashed the net open. Boy, the first-year pro keeps it a scoreless game. What a job by Aiden Hanson Bukata. Saw Josh Wesley a couple years ago make a similar type play in a big game. As they show the replay here on the video board, trickle past Koskiasuo and Aiden Hanson Bukata as the puck was sliding towards the goal line. AHB saves the day. And Koskiasuo says, thank you very much. 9:14 is left in the first period. They put the net back in place. Draws game in the right circle. Atlanta wins the draw. Karabi will take a righty shot. Kick saved by Koskiasuo. Puck in front of the crease. Grizzlies get it with Maxime Barbashev. Out towards center ice, you lose control as Young was on the back check. Atlanta throws it back in. Koskiasuo plays it behind his net. Some of his friends probably call him Kos. Out to center ice, left wing. This goes past Griffin Ness. Genev goes to the ice. That might be an interference minor. And let's see who goes to the box. Genev collided with Ryan Nolan. Nolan skates towards the bench. And Danny Genev will skate towards the bench as well. Neither of those guys got the penalty. It's Alex Young, and Alex Young can't believe it. He tries to put a spin move on the linesman, and the linesman, Andrew Collins, says, you're going to the box. Young can't believe it, but he's going to serve 2 minutes. As Young just dragged down Timofeyev. Timofeyev tried to skate past him. Young just took his left shoulder and threw him to the ice. So 8:51's left in the first period. Utah's on the power play for the first time tonight. They're 17.6% on the season. Utah's a power play goal in 13 of their last 17 games. Manny will take the draw. He's out there with Connors, Grattan, Hanson Bukata, and Webster. That's a party of 5 for the Grizzlies. Have to think about for a minute because these jerseys, love the jerseys, but when they're in movement, not necessarily the easiest to spot. Hanson Bukata to center ice for Shea. Watch out for Neil Shea. He's got 3 power play goals this season. Shea backhands to Reed. Webster leads Utah with 10 goals this year. Over to Manning off his stick. As puck towards the left corner, Atlanta's in control. Nychuk will saucer it out. It goes past Grattan. Koskiasuo Back behind his net will backhand it to Gratton, who skates around Utah's net. 8:17 on a moving clock first period. Still no score. Fans are waiting to throw the Teddy Bears on the ice. Webster gets it towards the right wing for Gratton across to Manning over the line. Manning drops it for Shea. Take a lefty shot. Kick saved by Hyder. Now rebound, bouncing puck. Webster feeds it up top. Hands to Buchanan. Directs it towards the left wing. Neil Shea dancing back and forth. He's in the left corner. Up top to Hanson Buchanan off the wall. Back to Shea. Shea trying to start to Manning. It goes past him and towards the Grizzlies bench. So the Grizzlies will start to filter in a line change, and so will the Gladiators. About 52 seconds left in Utah's power play, and what a look the Grizzlies are wearing tonight. As Utah out towards center ice, Griffin Ness will drop it back to center ice. Racing after the loose puck is Genev. He gets around Ryan Nolan with ease. Genev down the middle of the ice. He'll take a lefty shot, and it goes just wide as he crashed one towards the glass. Timofeyev and Genev get pushed towards the boards. Friesen in the area. Puck goes to the left wing for Felton. He goes down. Timofeyev down the middle of the ice gets it to Genev. One-timer saved by Hyder. Rebound goes back towards the right corner. Genev backhands it as Griffin Ness skates towards where Genev was. Now Genev gets the puck. He feeds it up top. Christian Felton make that Timofeyev back towards Genev, who batted it about waist high. Great hands for Genev. 10 seconds left in the power play. We're still scoreless. 7 minutes left in the first period. Grizzlies get it towards Timofeyev. He dances around. He'll feed it to the left goal line. Ness skates in, and he gets poked away by Hyder, who then covers up at the near goal line. And with that, coming out of the box is Alex Young. So we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Grizzlies did have a couple good looks on Hyder on the power play. Utah's outshot Atlanta 8-4 here so far. And still waiting for the Teddy Bear toss goal. Skating 5-on-5. Draws going to be in the left circle. Connors will take it. He's out there with Maxime Barbashev and Cooper Gay. And a defensive pairing of Robbie Stucker and Noah Gansky. Stucker in his second game in his second stint as a Grizzly. Spent the first 17 games this year with the Reading Royals and had 1 goal and 4 assists. He was acquired in a trade earlier this week for Ty Voigt. Atlanta wins the draw. They get towards the right wing. Louis Bedone dances around. Now he tries to force one towards the net, and it goes wide. Nychuk up top for Matier. Back to the left circle. Righty shot, and that's blocked. It's Walter that gets it. He's got 6 goals against Grizzlies. Shot is taken from the slot by Budon. Saved by Kaskasuo. As puck towards the left corner. Atlanta tries to skate back towards the point and get cut off by a double team. Matier feeds to the middle of the ice. Picked off by Stucker. Stucker, former 7th round pick by Columbus a few years ago. Connors ahead towards Barbashev. He gets held up by Matier along the boards. Now Matier gets the puck. 6:09 on a moving clock. Ahead towards Walters at neutral ice. He'll drop it behind his back. Boudon gets there astride ahead of Cooper Gay. As puck is backhanded by Cooper by Colby Enns. Enns is a very similar sized guy towards Stucker. And now Enns will skate towards neutral ice. Atlanta with the puck in their own end. West gets it across towards the Gladiators bench. Francis gets pushed by Gratton. Manning comes out with the puck. He'll race towards his left. He's now to the middle of the ice, and he'll throw it into the left corner, deep in the Gladiator zone. Les rolls it back towards Francis, who collects at the Atlanta line. He'll drop it to Ryan Conroy, who laid it back for Francis. Utah takes it away as Manning, right side, will take a lefty shot, and it's sticked away by Les, and it flies out of play with 5:29 left in the first. Time out of the ice. We're still looking for the game's first goal. Utah's outshot Atlanta 8-5. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
One of hockey's great traditions. It's Teddy Bear Toss night. As we're still looking for the game's first goal. scoreless with 5:29 left in the first. Utah did get one power play, and they had a couple good looks on the power play. There's Draws going to be over in the right circle. Now, if the Grinch were a goaltender, there he'd be. I'm not sure if that's a professional green on the fur that the Grinch has. It's kind of more of a lighter shade of green, or maybe kind of that lime green. Draws over in the right circle. Ness will take the draw. He's out there with Genev and Timofeyev. Timofeyev delivers a push after Atlanta initially won the draw. Timo spins it along the boards towards the left corner. Jarvis gets there before Genev. As Karabia gets lumbered in the back by Timofeyev. Atlanta races across center ice. I'll move it to their left. He's getting a piece of it and dumping it in. Was number 18, Carson Denemy, who's a +5 this season. Atlanta is 16-5 on the year. Grizzlies are 9-12-2. About 5 minutes left in the first period. Scrum along the far corner. As looks like the corners are piled up pretty quickly with people that need to pick up teddy bears when the Grizzlies score. Jarvis will tap it away by Timofeyev, and he'll backhand it to center ice. Genev gets a loose puck. He'll race towards the right circle, take a lefty shot that goes high. Puck ricochets towards the left corner. Make that left point. Felton moves it towards the corner. It's picked off by Mickey Burns. Puck goes deep in the Grizzly zone. Atlanta ices it with 4:36 left in the first. So faceoff's going to come back in the Gladiators zone. Atlanta has one of the best 1-2 combinations in net. Ethan Hyder's got an 8-2 record, and TJ Semptenfelter is 8-3. Connors will take the drive. He's got Gay to his right and Shea to his left. Up top is Hanson Bukata and Colby Enns. And Enns and Stuck are pretty similar size players, very similar style of game. Both guys have been pretty effective. Utah wins a draw. Hanson Bukata, lefty shot, and a save by Hyder. Puck still alive. Shot from the right side, saved by Hyder again. And now the whistle blows as Hyder believes he's covered up. Now we get some commotion out behind the net as a Gladiator gets thrown towards the post. And I wonder if there's going to be a penalty. Seen Cipollone hit the ice, got some fans excited. A little bit of a commotion behind Ethan Hyder's net after the whistle. Grizzlies doing a good job creating traffic out in front, and if you want to score on these Atlanta goaltenders, Hyder in particular, are going to have to get that traffic out in front. Hyder bobbled it for a second. It looked like Connors had a good look, and then Hyder made a kick save. Then Hyder tried to cover up and was successful in there, and then a Grizzly ran into Hyder, and the Gladiators, as looked like Cooper Gay pushed down Ethan Hyder. And with all that being said, no penalties on the play. We'll just skate 5-on-5. As Joey Cipollone was the one that hit the ice. Cipollone's been a strong role player for Atlanta this year. 6 goals and 4 assists in 21 games. Plays bigger than his 5'11", 192-pound frame. Grizzlies won the draw, but it goes past Colby Enns. Enns leads Utah with a +2 rating this year. Enns across to Hanson Bukata. About 4.5 minutes left in the first period. As he saucered over the stick of Cooper Gay. Now behind Atlanta's net. As Nychuk will skate towards the near side. He'll tattoo it off the boards. It goes to center ice. Enns moves it towards Connors, who gets around Cooper Gay. Skates to the right side. Connors, righty shot. Blocker saved by Hyder. As Gladiators, Ethan Scardina, who scored a goal last night, dangling back and forth, drops it for Morgan. Back towards Scardina. He'll skate in. Righty shot. Saved by Koskiasuo. Pucking it up in front of the crease. And Riley Appelt swung and missed. Grizzlies in the transition game. Shea will flop it into the right corner. Grizzlies make a change around him. Shea gets blasted towards the glass. Scardina gets the puck. He races towards center ice, and he will plop it in. Gladiators make a full line change. About 3.5 minutes left in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 10-5. And now we got a Utah chant here at Maverik Center. As Noah Gansky gets the puck. You know the old chant, Utah. We got that started here as Stucker gets it ahead. Crossing center ice is John Gillette, the Holy Cross product. Barbashev behind his net. Now Gillette gets it right side. Takes a lefty shot. Saved by Hyder. Rebound shot, a score! Toss those teddy bears! Evan Friesen gets his 4th of the year. And the Grizzlies take a 1-0 lead. And with that, the teddy bears come flying onto the Maverik Center ice. And I got about 4 that I need to toss as well. Friesen gets the teddy bear toss goal. He now has 4 on the season. And with that, thousands of teddy bears and stuffed animals are being thrown on the ice. Grisby's out, and he's waving his arms back and forth And what a scene here at Maverik Center. And this may just be the most teddy bears we've ever seen at a Grizzlies game. I tell you what, my arm is not what it used to be. I used to be able to throw over mountains and stuff, and now I can't even get it on the ice. Nevertheless, I imagine at some point it's going to get thrown on the ice, and it's going to take quite a bit of a delay because if you think about the fans sitting behind the net, they have to find a way to get towards the center ice area to get their teddy bears thrown on the ice. What a festive atmosphere. And just about every Grizzly player is on the ice assisting. And everybody on the Atlanta Gladiators side is sitting on the bench. There's about 4 Gladiators in front of their bench. Everybody else is just sitting there, and they're just soaking it in. Evan Friesen gets the teddy bear toss goal, and the assists go to John Gillette. As Gillette took the shot from the right side, the Grizzlies, we mentioned about a minute before the goal got scored that against a goaltender like Ethan Hyder, if you can find a way to get some traffic out in front of him, you can find a way to get some success. I don't know. Mark Larson wants to give a countdown to get the fans to throw the Bears on the ice. Yeah, good luck with that. So they continue to throw the teddy bears and stuffed animals on the ice. Everybody having a good time. Ryan Anderson and John Mechanic talking things over with the Grizzlies. He's talking with Noah Gansky. Teddy bears and stuffed animals of all shapes, sizes, and colors are on the ice, and they continue to throw them out there. There's about 3 of them that I've thrown that still need to find their way on the ice. Like I said, I thought I had the arm strength, but I don't think the Indianapolis Colts are calling me anytime soon. They may be calling Phillip Rivers. Who knows? Maybe Warren Moon will get a call from the Colts by the end of this season. If you're talking about great traditions in the world of hockey, the teddy bear toss is definitely among the great traditions. And I don't think there's any doubt that the Grizzlies and their great fans have broken another team record. Last year, the Grizzlies broke the team record for teddy bears that were tossed. This last season, there was 5,390. There is no question that even though there's, I'd say, over 100 people trying to get the teddy bears on the ice. Now we got some shopping carts to get the bears off. There's no question that this is a new team record. And what a great scene and what a great tradition in the world of hockey. Obviously, you don't see it in the National Hockey League because if you get those 18,000, crowd type in an NHL arena, they'd be picking up teddy bears for hours. I don't think we're going to quite hit the Hershey Bears mark. The Hershey Bears are the Michael Jordan of the teddy bear toss, or the Wayne Gretzky, if you will. As it seems like year in and year out, the Hershey Bears end up breaking their own record and breaking a record period. Hershey in 2017 had 25,017 teddy bears, and last year they had 102,343 teddy bears. So you're probably talking about 10 teddy bears per person in attendance over in Hershey. That's where Garrett Pike had been playing for the last couple of weeks, and then Pike was reassigned back to this league with the South Carolina Stingrays. And as the Bears continue, there's some Bears hanging from the net, and the Atlanta Gladiators are not helping out at all. They're just going to sit there and watch as the Grizzlies scored the first goal tonight, and that's certainly big. The Grizzlies have been a good team when scoring first. The Grizzlies, when scoring first, are 6-4-1. They only have 3 victories this season when the opposition scores first. So they continue to pick up the teddy bears, and just about everybody on the Grizzlies is helping out and having a lot of fun with it. There's 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first period. Frisbee's got some teddy bears as well. I knew I should have warmed up my arm beforehand. I embarrassed myself. I just about popped a kid there in about row 2 with one of the teddy bears. But nevertheless, we had a ton of fun, and that's, as we mentioned, this is one of hockey's great traditions. You see it everywhere. The Ogden Mustangs had their teddy bear toss tonight. They won 10-1 in their game. Tim Broussard was on the call for that one. Our good friend Guy Krenz is on the other side of section 114. I'm sure the Gladiators, if they haven't had their teddy bear toss yet, they'll have it here soon. So the teddy bear toss continues, and what a success it has been once again this season. And who knows when we'll find out how many teddy bears. I'd hate to be the people that have to count that thing. They're going to be counting for hours. You know, on election night where it seems like it takes weeks to figure out who won an election with 100,000 votes. I mean, how many teddy bears are we going to get counted? It's going to be an impossible amount. And I guarantee that we've broken another team record for the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss in team history. So now the Gladiators are starting to stretch it out just a little bit. All of them have spent at least 10 minutes just sitting on the bench. They're just sitting there. They don't look necessarily pleased. And hopefully you're able to pick the right teddy bear toss goal scorer. It's Evan Friesen on a rebound from a John Gillette shot. Friesen and Gillette have been on a line quite a bit. You know, those games where the Grizzlies have had 10 forwards or 11 forwards, they've been paired up with just about a different player. Evan Friesen's in his first full season as a pro. Spent the latter portion of last season with the Grizzlies. He ended up scoring his first pro goal in the next to last game of the regular season in Rapid City. As the Grizzlies are now huddled up around Casimir Kaskasuo. And what a special moment here with the teddy bear toss. Friesen scores 16:55 in with John Gillette getting the lone assist. Now just about everybody in the Grizzlies club is now in front of Casimir Kaskasuo. Now both teams are stretching it out. You almost use this as a bit of an intermission of sorts. As the Gladiators now stretching, the three officials might give them a couple minutes. As the Grizzlies huddled up, it looked like they were taking a team photo out in front of Casimir Kaskasuo. We might see that photo at some point after the game or maybe during the game on the Grizzlies social media channels. What a great time to take a team photo. A couple people taking photos of Casimir Kaskasuo in his Grizzlies debut. He has saved all 5 he has seen so far. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 12-5. When we resume play, the Grizzlies will have a forward line of Tyler Gratton, Luke Manning, and Reed Webster. A lot of traffic. It wasn't, Friesen, and they got Hyder off balance. They show the replay. As it looked like Friesen got a piece of the Hyder shot, then Hyder wasn't able to collect it. Friesen was surrounded by two Gladiators, and he put it past the goal line. And with that, Friesen hugged Sage Weinstein, and the Teddy Bears came flying onto the Maverik Center ice. And I got to think among the Grizzlies players, they had their own little side wagers as to who was going to be the guy who scored first tonight. I had picked Griffin Ness, but it's Evan Friesen. Sporting a mustache, he scores the Teddy Bear toss goal, and at some point they're going to start counting the Teddy Bears, and hard to even guess how many there are. No doubt it's a team record. It's got to be, I'd probably say 7,000. So faceoff's going to be at center ice. As Teddy Bear toss night once again is a massive success. Now the Grizzlies, with the Teddy Bear toss school out of the way, are looking to get two standings points. Atlanta rolls it in, glanced off a stick of neutral ice. Grizzlies sweep it along the boards. Brendan Les feeds it to the corner. Colby Enns gets the puck. He'll drive it around the wall towards the Grizzlies bench. Lepster gets it tapped away. And as Utah gets the puck, Manning towards AHB. Now Lepster tries to get around a Gladiator. Gets held up at the Atlanta line. Atlanta took it away. Young gets it to the Utah line. Francis will wing it around the wall as Weinstein pushes back towards Hanson Buchanan in the near corner. Head towards Gratton. Tyler Gratton towards center ice. He'll pitch it in. Conroy over with Lepster. Puck goes towards the right corner as Alex Young, the second-year pro, gets it. He played at Arizona State 2 years ago. He was a teammate of Tyler Gratton. Gladiators skied into Utah ice. Christian Felton gets the puck. He'll move it back towards Weinstein. Rink wide feed angle left off of Ness's stick. Ness wearing number 77, but they got the little line in between the sevens. The Gladiators offside. Good job by Weinstein, challenging Mickey Burns at the Utah line. And even 2 minutes are left in the first period. Grizzlies lead 1-0 on Evan Friesen's fourth of the year. John Gillette picked up his fourth assist of the campaign. So faceoff's going to be in the near dot, just outside the Grizzlies zone. Ness will take the draw. There's one Teddy Bear hanging on the net. That looked like Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent wildfires. Gladiators dumping in. Grizzlies out towards the near wing. As on the back check, Ness got a stick lifted. Cipollone will backhand it in. There's the back check once again we've been talking about all week. Atlanta is lethal on the back check. Probably as good as any team in the league. The Grizzlies will only play like half the teams in the league, but Atlanta's pretty strong in that department. Atlanta saucered in deep to no one in particular. Burns chasing after it. Gets there along with Gansky. As Gansky and goal Burns. Puck towards Ness. Back to the corner as Robbie Stucker gets some lumber in the back by Denemy. Stucker tries to hold his ground. Puck goes to the middle of the ice. Taken by Noah Gansky, who's got an A on his sweater. Gansky out towards center ice. And he'll saucer it in around the wall. Genev gets hit by Mateer. Weinstein gets the puck. Fires towards the net. And that's sticked away by Chad Nychuk, number 39. He's got an AHL contract with Milwaukee. Grizzlies back in their own zone. Utah did a good job of cutting off Peter Morgan's pursuit. 1 minute left in the first period. Grizzlies lead 1-0 on Evan Friesen's fourth of the year. Weinstein behind the net. He's played with a lot of confidence, and he's certainly gotten better game in and game out. 20-year-old with an NHL contract with Colorado. Head to center ice. It's sticked away by Atlanta. Scardina gets a shoulder check from Weinstein. As all big-time hit. Shea somehow was able to regather his stick as it had gone over his head. Obviously, Neil Shea's got great hands. Karabia engulfs Shea along the boards and holds him up. As Morgan tried to center it in front of Utah's crease. It's taken away by the Grizz. Riley Connors, the Yale and St. Lawrence product. He was the captain at Yale 2 years ago. Shea around Atlanta's net, gets pushed by Karabia. And Karabia is a big defenseman at 6'3", 200 pounds. Shea loses his helmet. Thought about playing, but realized it would be a penalty if he kept playing. So he skates to the bench. His helmet is laying behind. Now a glove goes off, and that's Riley Connors. And the Gladiators out to center ice. Grizzlies get it ahead, and time runs out in this first period. As the Grizzlies lead 1-0, Evan Friesen with the Teddy Bear toss goal, 16:55 in. Grizzlies get a standing ovation from this crowd at Maverik Center. For my money, this might be the biggest crowd that the Grizzlies have had at a home game yet this season. And the Grizzlies put together an outstanding 20-minute performance as they lead 1-0 going into the locker room against an outstanding Atlanta Gladiators club. When we come back, we'll talk some hockey, recap the first 20 minutes, and also go over some scores from around the world of sports. The Heisman Trophy was announced earlier today. We'll tell you who won that award, and we'll get ready for the second period. Once again, after one frame, Evan Friesen and the Grizzlies lead the Gladiators 1-0. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
There's no doubt that the final Teddy Bear toss in team history was a massive success as Evan Friesen got Utah on the board 16:55 into the first period. And that's a lone goal. Utah outshot Atlanta 13-5 in the first period. There was one penalty as Alex Young got an interference minor, and that gave Utah power play. They had two power play shots but couldn't find the back of the net on Hyder. And, rebounds, directions, getting traffic out in front of the net, that's probably going to be the formula for Utah to score against the top-flight goaltenders. The Gladiators have Hyder in tonight, and TJ Sempton-Felter, the backup. He had an outstanding game last night, stopping 28 of 29. And it's really a controlled pace, but the Grizzlies seem to have done a good job here tonight playing their style of hockey and playing their pace, as opposed to maybe the first two games, it was a little bit more towards the tempo that the Gladiators like to play it at. Utah may have a speed advantage against most of the teams they play against, and with that, Utah gets out in open ice, and you get guys like Griffin Ness and Genev and Timofeyev and that three-man forward unit. Seems like game in and game out create good scoring chances. You get hard-working forwards like Friesen and Gillette, and then you got a talented line in Reed Webster, Tyler Granton, and Luke Manning. Utah is pretty deep in terms of forwards this season. There are the stats if you're watching on Flow Sports of this first period. Grizzlies 13 shots, and 7 of them were considered to be scoring chances. Atlanta had 5 shots, and 3 were considered scoring chances on Kasimir Kaskiasuo, who's making his Grizzlies debut. Grizzlies won the face-off battle 10-6 in the first period. Utah had 2 power play shots in their 1 power play. Atlanta's yet to go on the man advantage. Quite a bit of hitting. If you think about it being the final meeting between these clubs this season, it may get physical, as Atlanta's looking for a sweep and Utah's looking to salvage the third game. And so many hits, according to the off-ice officials, 11 for Atlanta and 8 for Utah. Quite a few giveaways on both sides. Utah had 7 in the first period. Atlanta had 6. Both teams had quite a few giveaways in last night's game. In terms of who took the shots for the Grizzlies, how about Evan Friesen? He's been hungry tonight. 1 goal. He leads Utah with 4 shots. Neil Shea's got 2 shots, and then 1 shot each for 7 other Grizzlies. Nobody for Atlanta has more than 1 shot. Jarvis, Mateer, Boudon, Scardina, and Francis each have 1 shot on Kasimir Kaskiasuo. As they're dancing, here we got a couple dance performances here tonight. Last home game for the Grizzlies before the Christmas break, but Utah will have 3 games on the road next week, next Friday and Saturday. They take on Tato Had's Kansas City Mavericks on December 21st. The Grizzlies face the Tulsa Oilers. That's the final regular season meeting ever for the Grizzlies at BOK Center. And we try to be careful and not mention the final season too much, as after all, we're trying to just have fun and have really enjoy the season. But it is incredibly difficult for all of us in the office, knowing and really not knowing what the future holds. If you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the upcoming games. Don't forget the next game for the Grizzlies at home will be the day after Christmas, Friday, December 26th. And I don't know, if I'm a hockey fan, you know what I would want in my basket? You know what gift I would want? You know what I want Santa Claus to bring me? Grizzlies tickets. The 2 days after Christmas, December 26th and 27th, the Idaho Steelheads will be in town. And just as we were mentioning, we don't want to mention, last this, last that. That is the last 2 games the Grizzlies have scheduled in the regular season all time against the arch rival Idaho Steelheads. I don't know who made the schedule, but the Grizzlies and Steelheads won't meet for the final 3 months of the regular season. That's like saying the Yankees and Red Sox can't play a game after July 4th, or the Dodgers and Giants, all their games within the first half of a season. Who made this schedule? Oh, yeah, let's get those Eastern Conference rivals. Rangers and Flyers, no games in the second half of the season against each other. But nevertheless, it'll be fun the first 2 days after Christmas. Idaho will be in town December 26th and 27th. And yes, for a good Christmas gift, make sure to go to UtahGrizzlies.com. I know they don't have those physical tickets, which certainly were great. To put in a Christmas basket, a Christmas thing. Maybe Santa Claus could bring it. I remember one of the best things I ever got from Santa Claus was tickets to the Jazz and Wizards on February 14th, 2003. Happened to be the last time Michael Jordan was in town. And then I got tickets 5 days later for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. You can make some great memories, and you have a lot of fun if you just get tickets to Grizzlies games for the 2 days after Christmas. And it doesn't just have to be those games. Obviously, we got some great games and great matchups for the second half of the season. And obviously, we're going to make as many memories as we can and have as much fun as we possibly can in this Utah Grizzlies final hunt. When we come back, we'll go over some scores from around the world of sports. We'll check in on those Mountain Division games. The Heisman Trophy was announced earlier today, and it goes to Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. How about the Indiana Hoosiers over the last couple of years? Mendoza, a transfer out of Cal, is the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner. When we come back, we'll go over some other scores from around the world of sports. It's Utah 1, Atlanta nothing as Evan Friesen scored the Teddy Bear Toss goal 16:55 into the first period. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
Welcome back to Maverik Center. First intermission, Utah leads Atlanta 1-0. Let's go over some scores from around the world of sports. First in the league, the Grizzlies call home. Many games have already gone final. Worcester defeats Maine 4-2. Former Kansas City star Max Andreov had one of the Maine goals. Goals by 4 different Worcester Railers. They defeat Maine 4-2. Allen gets a 5-1 Mountain Division victory over Rapid City. As the Americans got goals from 5 different players, Brett Davis found the back of the net for Rapid City. Adirondack defeats Wheeling 3-1. A little bit of an upset there as Adirondack's record falls to 19-5-1 on the season. Florida gets a 1-0 victory over Orlando. That game has gone final. It's a shutout for former Grizzly Will Cranley. He gets a 22-save shutout as he defeats Orlando 1-0. Oddly enough, Cranley was not the number 1 star of the game, as the game was scoreless through regulation, and then in overtime, Casaro scored the game winner, and he was named the number 1 star. So Will Cranley, second star, but he gets a 22-save shutout. Cranley was a key goaltender in the 2023-22 Grizzlies season. Cincinnati defeats Indy 4-1. That game played in Mike Foltz's hometown of Fishers, Indiana. We're hanging out here at Maverik Center in the Salt Lake Valley, hometown of Mammoth announcer Adrian Denny, former Grizzlies announcer, spent many years here with the organization. Other scores around the league, Toledo defeats Iowa 4-1. Former Grizzly Chad Hillebrand had a goal for Toledo. He's off to an outstanding start this season. Jacksonville defeats South Carolina 5-3. Martin had 2 goals for the Jacksonville Icemen. Hallerchuk, 2 goals for South Carolina in the loss. Reading defeats Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 7-3. Nathan Burke, former Grizzly, had one of the Reading Royals goals. Greenville defeated Greensboro 4-1. Former Grizzly Keaton Mastrodonado found the back of the net late in the third period for the Swamp Rabbits. In overtime, Wichita defeats Idaho 3-2. Kyle Krankovic scored the game winner, 1:05 into the extra session. Late third period, Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne are tied at 4. No former Grizzly. Actually, there was a former Grizzly that scored for Kalamazoo, and it's Derek Dashke, who was just recently assigned to the Kalamazoo Wings from the AHL's Abbotsford Club. Dashke scored 15-20 into the second period. He was first team All-League last season. Early third period, Kansas City and Bloomington are tied at 2. And those are the scores from across the league. Not many games going on right now. And obviously we'll keep an eye on the game that Kansas City game. Grizzlies will face the Kansas City Mavericks twice next week, December 19th and 20th over at Cable Dahmer Arena. When we come back, we'll go over NHL scores. Utah leads Atlanta 1-0. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Utah leads 1-0. Let's go over some NHL scores tonight. Quite a few games in the National Hockey League. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are in action. That game is early in the second period, and Colorado leads Nashville 2-1. Jonathan Marchessault scored for Nashville on a power play. That was late in the first period. Jack Drury and Nathan McKinnon have the Avalanche goals. How about McKinnon? He has 26 goals on the season. Early third period, Red Wings lead the Blackhawks 3-0. After two periods, Panthers lead the Stars 3-0. Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, and Anton Lundell have the Panthers goals. Finals across the National Hockey League in a rematch of the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. Devils defeat the Ducks 4-1. Wild get a 3-2 victory over the Senators. In overtime, the Sharks win 6-5. Overtime game winner was scored by John Klingberg, 2:57 in. In a shootout, Islanders defeat the Lightning 3-2. Emil Hyman with the shootout game winner for New York. Charles-Edward Nastu is in the lineup for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Nastu, no points. He played 22 minutes and 58 seconds. He had 4 penalty minutes. He played in 27 shifts and had 1 shot and 1 giveaway. Islanders over the Lightning 3-2. Oilers get a 6-3 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs as Connor McDavid had 2 goals and 1 assist. Ponkelzine had 2 goals. Leon Draisaitl with 3 assists as Tristan Jarry made his Oilers debut, and he saved 25 of 28 as Edmonton defeats Toronto 6-3. In the shootout, the Rangers get a 5-4 victory, or actually it was an overtime. Rangers defeat Montreal 5-4. JT Miller scored the overtime game winner on a power play, 2:56 in. In a shootout, Hurricanes defeat the Flyers 4-3. Jackson Blake scored the shootout game winner. Golden Knights over the Blue Jackets 3-2. That game has gone final. Braden McNabb scored the game winner 13-13 into the third. Jets over the Capitals 5-1. That's the final scores across the National Hockey League. One game starting at 8 o'clock, and that's the 12-16-4 Calgary Flames and the 14-8-8 LA Kings. Well, both teams are coming back on the ice. Utah did outshoot Atlanta 13-5 in the first period. Kind of an interesting goaltending matchup. Ethan Hyder is in net for the Gladiators. He's got an AHL contract with the Montreal Admirals, or the Milwaukee Admirals. He's 6'4", 190 pounds, out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. And it's interesting to see Kasimir Koskiasuo making his Grizzlies debut, native of Finland. A couple games of NHL experience, one with Toronto and one with Nashville. Last year, split some time, played 2 games in Norfolk and 10 games with the Bloomington Bison. His YouTube channel is certainly interesting. He's got 72.4 thousand YouTube subscribers. He's made some interesting content, and he even made one earlier this week announcing his signing with the Utah Grizzlies as he signed this past Sunday. So the Grizzlies now have 3 goaltenders on the roster with Kaskiasuo, along with Dylan Wells and Kyle Kaiser. And Kaiser's the backup goaltender tonight. Well, the Grizzlies did a great job in the first period controlling the pace of play, and we'll see what happens here in the second against a pretty strong Atlanta Gladiators club. We'll be skating 5-on-5 to start the second period. Grizzlies will be skating from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Utah's got a forward line of Griffin Ness, Stepan Timofeyev, and Danny Genev, and a defensive pairing of Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Colby Enns. So you've been mentioning the teddy bear toss goal, but the biggest play of the first period, you can't forget about the importance when the score was still, and when there was still no score, as the puck trickled past Kaskiasuo, and Aiden Hansen-Bukata dove in the crease to keep the puck away. As they show on Flow Sports replay of the Evan Friesen goal, he led Utah with 4 shots in the first period, but that play that Aiden Hansen-Bukata made, saving an Atlanta goal, for my money, is the biggest play of the first period. That obviously in the Friesen teddy bear toss goal. Draw at center ice. Ness will take it, but it's won by Atlanta's Alex Young, and Young sacrificed a stick as he lost it. He gets a new one from the Atlanta equipment manager, who is Ben Ellis. Atlanta around the boards in a black jersey with white numbers, white lettering, and a little bit of light blue mixed in. Grizzlies in a crazy specialty jersey. Right wing, righty shot goes wide. Puck slides back to neutral ice. Check back at the Atlanta line. Moves across. Jack Mateer will slide one towards Young off his stick. Mateer gets it, skates down the middle, surrounded by a couple Grizzlies, steps over the offensive blue, and he backhands it to the right corner. Mateer and Nychecker at the end of a shift. As puck back to neutral ice, Atlanta throws it in. Offside are the Gladiators. As we get our first whistle in the second period, 39 seconds in. So draws at neutral ice. John Mechanic talking with Grizzly forwards. Ryan Anderson standing behind the Grizzly defensive unit. The Grizzlies are rolling with 12 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. As Luke Manning will take the drives out there with Tyler Gratton and Reed Lepster. Manning wearing an A on his sweater. But then again, there's so many colors and things. Can we even tell if he's got an A on his sweater or not here tonight? But he's been wearing a letter this whole season. Manning's now kicked out of the circle, and Tyler Gratton will take the draw. Gratton wearing the captain's C for the Grizzlies. You can bid on that jersey on the Dash Auction app. Atlanta wins the draw. Utah leads 1-0. Ryan Conroy helicopters it in. He puts a dent towards the end boards behind Kaskiasuo's net. Puck goes out towards center ice. And it's tapped in by Brendan Less. Kaskiasuo plays behind his net. Stucker rolls it back towards Noah Gansky. Now Genev will tap it off the wall. And it's swept ahead by Gratton, but he did so from Grizzlies territory. And icing is on Utah with 18:58. That's the time remaining in the second period. So John's going to come back towards Koss, who saved all 5 shots he has seen. Nobody's taken a shot officially so far in this second period. Great crowd for my money. In my estimation, it might be the biggest crowd that the Grizzlies have had all season. A guy in a Rick Vaughn Cleveland Indians jersey hanging out in section 113 tonight. That's a beautiful looking jersey. Conroy likes to center it. Going down is Isaac Walter, who's got 3 2-goal games against the Grizzlies this season, all of them in succession. Right side, lefty shot saved by Kaskiasuo. Puck goes back towards the left side. Walter feeds up top. It's picked off by the Grizzlies as Tyler Gratton anticipated the play. Gratton throws it towards the near wing boards as it was overled for Luke Manning. A Gladiator hits the ice in a big collision with Reed Lepster. Both Lepster and Cody Sylvester are slow to get up. And the puck flips out of play. And Sylvester and Lepster, both guys shaking up a little bit as they skate towards the bench. Puck ended up in the Atlanta bench. And they're thinking about giving it to somebody in row 1. And yeah, a fan behind the Atlanta bench will come away with a frozen vulcanized rubber disc. Puck was in the Grizzlies zone. I think they're talking about potential delay of game. Out at center ice. 18:29 is the time remaining. Andrew Collins and the other linesman, Andy Van Wagener, talking with Emil Sharon. And the Grizzlies are now arguing. I think Utah might have been called for a penalty as Tyler Gratton goes to the box. Shea can't believe it. Shea says the puck ended up in the Atlanta bench. One of the things when you clear it out and you clear it into the bench area, as puck was backhanded up and out of play, it went into the Atlanta bench. looked like hit the top of the glass there. So that's kind of a tough break for the Grizzlies. Obviously, if you fire it into the bench, it's not going to be a delay of game because if there was glass there, it would be tapped off the glass. I think based on the angle, though, they are saying that the puck would have gone out of play just with the trajectory of how it ended up in the Atlanta bench. So Gratton gives a fan a souvenir from his own zone, a minute 31 into the second, and so Atlanta gets their first power play of the game. Atlanta 16.9% of the power play. Grizzlies get, and they will move it all the way towards Ethan Hyder behind his net. Grizzlies clear it out. John Gillette's out there with Evan Friesen. They each have a first period point. Friesen with the goal, Gillette with the assist, and Robbie Stucker's out there with Noah Gansky. Atlanta over the line and clearing it out on a good defensive play is Robbie Stucker. He was a dependable defenseman for the Grizzlies in the second half of the 2023-24 season. Conroy will move it back towards the right side. Atlanta gets the center ice across the center red line. As Ryan Nolan will back it out towards Atlanta ice. He feeds to Conroy. Both guys' first names are Ryan. Grizzlies have had quite a few years in a row where they've had a player or a coach named Ryan, and this year is no different. Nolan skates towards the right goal line, gets across to Burns, who didn't have much of a shooting angle. Francis over to Conroy. As he's now to the high slot, he'll take a lefty shot and it's blocked, and clearing it out on a backhand is Griffin Ness. So halfway through Atlanta's first power play of the game, and we're 2.5 minutes into the second period. Utah leads 1-0 on Evan Friesen's fourth of the year. Walter races down the middle of the ice, tries to split a double team. He does. Arm is raised by the referee, and it's going to be another penalty on the Grizzlies. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play. Hyder will race towards the bench. Nychuk skates around his empty net. Nychuk will feed it to his right. Young will bounce one, kicked away by Koskiasuo. That initiates the whistle. So the Gladiators are going to have a 5-on-3 power play for 26 seconds. Going to the box is Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Emil Sharon with the signal. 2 minutes for holding. Time of penalty. 3:05 into the second period. So Atlanta's looking at this as a critical sequence. Matt Ginn and his assistant are talking things over. They got the clipboard out. They didn't call timeout, but I think they drew something there to where the Gladiators on the ice were looking at it. So Gratton and Hansen-Bukata are in the box. Gratton will come out in 26 seconds. He's serving a delay of game minor. Draws in the left circle. Utah leads 1-0, trying to salvage the third game of the series. Atlanta won 6-3 on Wednesday and 5-1 last night. Nychuk in the high slot. He'll move it towards Cody Sylvester, the Atlanta captain. Sylvester and Nychuk switch places. Now Nychuk gets in the right self feed to the right goal line. He tried to get it across to Walters, but it went past him. Walter, not Walters, Walther. Young up top to Sylvester. And so move it towards Nychuk. Nychuk and Sylvester switch places. Nychuk, he'll take a lefty shot. Glove saved by Koskiasuo. And that was as Tyler Gratton was coming out of the box. And now we're skating 5-on-4. Draws going to be in the Grizzlies zone. As Gratton's out of the box, Hansen-Bukata still serving as holding minor. So Grizzlies hold off the 5-on-3 portion of the penalty kill. Utah's PK has been outstanding as of late. They're 18 for 19 in their last 5 games. On the season, the Grizzlies are 82.7%. So Draws going to be over in the right circle. For my estimation, the biggest home crowd the Grizzlies have had so far this season. Nychuk will try to move it ahead. Puck goes to the middle of the ice, bounces off a couple sticks. Budon did a good job. Now centering pass from Walter to Young. Now down the middle. Nychuk, his lefty shot goes wide. Puck towards the right corner. Big time scrum. Just about everybody on the ice. Now Gratton looks nearby. Puck slides behind Utah's net. Gratton delivers a push, and the Grizzlies tap it off the near wing boards. Colby Enns clears it out. Grizzlies will make a change halfway through the Hansen-Bukata minor. Nychuk races out across center ice. He'll backhand it to his left. Louis Budon directs it up top to Nychuk. Nychuk across towards Sylvester. Now back to Louis Budon, who's had a good series. Over to Sylvester, the right goal line. He feeds up top to Nychuk. Nychuk with a lefty shot. Saved by Koss, and he holds on. 15:36 left in the second. Atlanta's up to 11 shots. They had 5 in the first period. They're already up to 6 here so far in the second. Nychuk's had an impressive season. He just fired it to the breadbasket. Kaskiasua did a good job in the butterfly, holding his ground, and Costin did a good job controlling rebounds here so far. Joey Cipollone will take the draw. I think that's Noah Gansky taking the face-off. Grizzlies have done this from time to time, having defensemen taking defense's own draws on a penalty kill. Gansky wins the draw. Grizzlies have a 2-on-3. Racing across center ice, Griffin Ness. He tried to center it. It glanced off the skate of Ryan Conroy. I said glance about 1,000 times last night. We're up to 100 here so far this evening. Genev to the right side, backhands it towards the net, and is loved and dropped by Ryan Nolan. Good effort by, actually, that was Luke Manning, number 16, not Genev, number 26. Manning's a strong penalty killing forward. Francis over the offensive line, gets in the middle of the ice for Cipollone, who swings and misses. Now the puck gets slid in towards neutral ice. Cipollone and Conroy run into each other. Conroy gets the puck. He'll get to Francis at the Atlanta line. 3 seconds left in the penalty kill. Hyder slams a stick on the ice. Hanson Buchanan's out of the box. Good penalty kill work by the Grizzlies. Hanson Buchanan gets some lumber from Jarvis from behind. As Connors feeds it to the Atlanta line. Jarvis tried to lift it over Connors' head. Connors gloved it and dropped it. Now to center ice as Felton drives it past Jarvis. Hyder behind his net. Whips it around the boards. Felton gets the puck, skeets towards the right side. He'll get it to the corner. As Utah feeds it towards Connors. One-timer. That's blocked by Conroy in front of Hyder. Atlanta crosses center ice off a Weinstein stick. Scardino over in the right corner. As he gets pushed to the boards by Felton. Atlanta reverses it to the left point. As Jarvis couldn't race to keep it in. Jarvis will get the idle puck deep in the Gladiator zone. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Rink-wide feed, angle left, goes to Riley Appelt. Appelt is first game in this series. First game against the Grizzlies this year. Ends, saucered ahead. As a north-south pass goes to the right wing. As Gillette gets pushed towards the boards. Over to the right side. Oh, Grizzly gets awkwardly taken towards the wall. Luckily, Neil Shea gets back to his feet. And now towards the right corner. Grizzlies get it back towards the right side. I said Shea was actually Barbashev. Barbashev lefty shot goes over the crossbar. Gillette over towards the left corner. Scardina in the area. He gives him a good shoulder. Puck up top. Hippity Opso around Hanson Buchanan, who tried to corral it at the Atlanta line. Grizzlies race back and get it deep in their own zone as Enns has it behind Kaskiasuo's net. Enns will fake it to AHB. Now he zips it around the boards. Out to center ice. Genev will pitchfork it ahead about 20 feet. Timofeyev gets double teamed. Timo bounces it to the middle of the ice. Puck rolls towards the corner. Timofeyev gives Walter a rough ride. As Atlanta comes back up with it. Nychuk around his net. So we played about 7 minutes in the second period. Utah leads 1-0. Boudon gets the stick lifted but keeps control of the puck. Sylvester over to Boudon in the left corner. As he gets up top to Sylvester, he fires a lefty shot that goes wide. As he puts a dent in the glass, Walter runs it down, gets towards Boudon. He feeds it to the right side. Now across to Nychuk. Nychuk with a lefty shot, and it goes over Kaskiasuo's glove and taps off the glass. Puck's reversed from one corner to the other. Timofeyev and Sylvester to collide. And Sylvester gets the puck. He's in the left corner as he's being shadowed by Noah Gansky. Boudon gets some lumber by Timofeyev as a scrum ensues over on the left side. Atlanta trying to muscle their way around Griffin Ness. Boudon and Ness battle for about 5 seconds. Carson Denemy rolls it around his net as Gansky tries to box out Sylvester for the puck. Gansky goes down. Now he gets back to his feet. Stucker looking nearby. Gansky trying to break free of Louis Boudon. Boudon's got the puck pinned towards the wall. Now Boudon gets some lumber on the side. Boudon gets divorced on the puck. Now Louis Boudon is very upset at a Grizzly. Gansky's holding his face. We got to fight! As Louis Boudon swings and misses. Griffin Ness holds up Boudon. As Boudon drags Ness, they keep their feet. As Boudon now drags a Grizzly to the ice. And they see Griffin Ness drag Boudon to the ice. And this Maverik Center crowd's up for grabs. Louis Boudon and Griffin Ness got in each other's nerves, and they dropped the gloves as both skate to the penalty box. They're serving fine for fighting. This Maverik Center is standing and applauding. As neither guy was able to get a great punch in, as it was more of a wrestling match after they dropped the gloves. As Boudon tried to overpower Ness, and Ness, that's kind of the underrated wiry strength. He was able to keep his feet for a while. Ness goes 6 feet, 184 pounds. Boudon goes 5'11" and 190 pounds. As Tyler Gratton with a fist pump for Griffin Ness. Now Noah Gansky talking things over. And Gansky was holding his face a little bit as if he were hit with a high stick. No penalties other than a 5 for fighting. The fight happened 8:02 into the second period. Draws game in the right circle. As they show a replay of the fight. And that's got the last blow on Boudon. As it was more of a wrestling match than a fight. Neither guy really threw too many punches at each other. As back behind Utah's net, Weinstein will feed it to the right corner. Gratton gives Les some lumber. Now Conroy towards the left wing. He's surrounded by Lepster. Manning comes out with the puck. Manning will tap it off the boards near Utah's bench. And the puck will wobble on its side. Les spins it around to Conroy. He's in the right wing. Lepster has a tap off his stick. Now the puck off an Atlanta stick out to center ice. Weinstein near the Grizzlies logo. He swings and misses. Now he backhands it towards Atlanta ice. Brendan Les gets the puck. He's paired up with Conroy tonight. Now Conroy gets it from Les. Conroy will bounce it off of Weinstein. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Koskiasuo stays in front of his net. Atlanta trying to backhand it in front. It glanced off a Grizzly. As Utah out towards center ice, Reed Lepster collects the puck near Atlanta's bench. He'll skate over the offensive line, stopping the left point. Gets it across. It's picked off by Ryan Nolan. He'll backhand it ahead. Young chases after it in the left corner. Colby Enns closes the gap. Young and Enns, they collide around Koskiasuo's right shoulder. Puck goes towards the left wing as Jarvis spins it around, bouncing puck over an Atlanta stick. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Francis feeds up top as Carabia fires a righty shot wide. Jarvis towards the corner. He'll drop it for Young, who skates towards the left point. He stops, fires a righty shot, and it glances off of Jarvis' stick, and it flies out of play. With 10:38 left in the second. Grizzlies lead 1-0. Nobody has scored here so far in the second period. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
All right, we're having a fun time here at Maverik Center. 10:38 is the time remaining second period. Utah leads 1-0. Evan Friesen scored the Teddy Bear toss goal with 3:05 left in the first period. Draws game in the Grizzlies zone. Not many shots on either side. Grizzlies with 13 and Atlanta with 11. Gladiators with a slight edge here in the second period. Riley Connors will take the draw for the Grizzlies against Ethan Scardina. In my estimation, the biggest crowd here so far this season. Scardina's kicked out of the face-off circle. Riley Appelt will take the draw. Appelt, native of Edmonton, Alberta, played at Grant MacEwan University last season. Grizzlies won the draw as Enns will slide it ahead. Cooper Gay chasing after it. No icing as Gay and Mateer collide. Glass goes swaying back and forth. 2-on-2 scrum near the right corner. As we're about halfway through the scheduled 60-minute affair, and it's really been a simple 1-0 game. As both teams have played strong defensively. Gay goes down, and that's going to be a penalty. 2 minutes for hooking as Jack Mateer can't believe it, but he goes to the box. So Grizzlies go back on the power play for the second time tonight. Tonight, I Care for Kids is the nonprofit of the night. I Care for Kids is a local nonprofit dedicated to providing professional eye exams and glasses at little or no cost to underserved children and adults. Since 2001, they've delivered over 500,000 vision services, helping kids succeed in school and adults maintain independence and quality of life. So we're certainly thrilled to have I Care for Kids here tonight. And we are proud to support their mission. If you'd like to learn more or find out how you can help give the gift of sight, visit icareforkids.org. That's iCare4kids.org. 2 minutes for hooking as Jack Mateer in the box, 9:45 into the second period. think can't tell who's taking the face-off with these jerseys. I think it's the captain, Tyler Bratton. He's taking the draw. Atlanta wins the face-off, and they'll sail it over Luke Manning's head. The puck goes out of play, and draw, I think, is going to be at neutral ice. 10-10s left in the second period. Let's see where they say the face-off's going to be. It's going to be near the Grizzlies bench. Grizzlies are probably arguing it should be an offensive zone draw. Aiden Hanson-Buchanan has had the biggest defensive play of the game. That came in the first period. And watch out for him on the power play. He's got 6 power play assists on the season. And there's something that cracked him up as Hanson-Buchanan all of a sudden burst out into laughter. As it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizz. Lebster, Manning, Gratton, Shea, and Hanson-Buchanan are the party of 5 for Utah. Draw won by Utah. Hanson-Buchanan gets in the left point. He's a great personality, maybe the best personality on the team. Then again, personalities are always an opinion. AHB to the right side, gets it across. Lebster, left circle, take a righty shot. Saved by Hyder. And he holds on. Hyder didn't allow a rebound. Good job by the Gladiators out in front of the crease. Hanson-Buchanan was the life of the Christmas party this past Monday. In fact, he had the rookies all prepared. They knew that the rookies had to sing a Christmas carol. And that was about the best Christmas carol in Utah Grizzlies history at a Christmas party. And Hanson-Buchanan was leading the way. He gets it towards the middle of the ice. One-timer saved by Hyder. Puck still alive. Now up top. Shea trips over the puck. And he backhands it ahead. And it's picked off by Brendan Less. 1-on-2 Less over the offensive line. Left side shot. Kick saved by Koskiasuo off his right pad. Grizzlies. Tyler Bratton gets back towards Manning. 1:20 left in Utah's power play. AHB will drop it back for Manning. He's about 10 feet in front of Koskiasuo. Now Manning will skate behind Utah's net. Grizzlies will spread the ice and slow it down a little bit. Manning across the Lebster, who gets the neutral ice. He crosses the center red line, dangling back and forth, steps over the offensive line, and he'll zip it around the boards. Shea reverses it back past Manning. Over to the right point. Gratton collects it. He'll drop it back for Lebster, who's in the right point. Across to Shea. Shea's got 3 power play goals this season. Watch out for him in the man advantage. You're over to Manning behind the net. Up top, Lebster. He fakes to his left, gets it back towards Manning. AHB over to Shea, left side. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Hyder. Rebound goes towards Shea. He gets back in the left corner. He reverses the puck. Long shift for the Grizzlies. Utah feeds up top, and it goes past Manning. And the Grizzlies will switch up skaters as Manning will come off the ice. Aiden Hanson-Buchanan will stop behind Koskiasuo's net as Utah gets 4 fresh forwards on the ice. As Hanson-Buchanan, towards the end of his long shift, moves to his right. Now AHB will skate off the ice. He's replaced by Christian Felton. Genev crosses center ice with momentum. Right side, skates over the offensive line. Stops before he gets to the right corner. Accelerates. Stops in the corner. Supports himself off the boards. Genev now looking nearby as he surveys. He feeds to the right corner. 3 seconds left in the power play. Genev, toe drag. Lefty shot goes wide. Puck hits the outside of the cage. Krabia throws it towards the far side as Mateer's out of the box. Neither team has a power play goal tonight. Racing after a loose puck in the right side is Barbashev. But Nychuk pokes it back towards Utah ice. Barbashev down the middle. As he'll nudge it ahead about 10 feet off the Timofeyev stick. Nychuk will saucer it ahead. It's overled for Young. Grizzlies slicing out to center ice. Right wing Timofeyev strides along the wing. Steps over the offense line onside. He'll get to his left. Lefty shot saved by Hyder. As Barbashev took the shot, he's wearing number 92. He played with Bloomington last year and a little bit with the AHL's Hartford Wolfpack. Back to the left wing. Grizzlies backhanded in deep. They're in the offensive zone. They race towards the right corner. Puck zips back to center ice. As Utah back at their line. Robbie Stucker will get it ahead from blue line to blue line off the Cooper Gay's stick. It's cleared by Hyder towards the near wing boards. Gillette fires towards the net. It's sticked away. Gillette gets it back to the middle of the ice. And it's brushed by Francis. Grizzlies skate around towards the right wing. Riley Connor swings and misses. Stucker will take a righty shot that's blocked by Burns. As Burns back behind his net for Conroy, who will race towards the far corner. He backhands it up and out. Did it get redirected? Did any of the officials? It looks like Andrew Collins makes the call, and it's going to be delay of game. Ryan Conroy gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone, and he's going to serve 2 minutes. So now both teams have a delay of game penalty, and the Grizzlies will get another power play. Conroy was over in the far corner of his own zone, just trying to backhand it, maybe hit the glass, and then have it kind of sky towards center ice, but instead he flipped it out of play. Gillette was chasing after him, and Conroy almost immediately after he made the pass knew that he made a mistake, and the Grizzlies all knew it was going to be delay of game. And linesman Andrew Collins was in the perfect spot to make the call. And so was referee Emil Sharon. Sharon's actually had a pretty good series as referee in this set. So 2 minutes for Ryan Conroy. Time of penalty, 12:58 in. We'll see if Utah can capitalize on the power play. Grizzlies win the draw. Hands to Bukata. Skips it across towards Shea in the right wing. Shea trying to fire towards the net. And it bounced off a Cipolone stick and it flies out of play. Minute 48 left in the power play. Utah leads 1-0. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 17-12. And it looks like coming out of the box is Griffin Ness and Louis Boudon as they're done serving their fighting majors. As both benches salute their player. Ness back to the Grizzlies bench. That's about the second or third fight that Ness has been in this season. Grizzlies hope and believe that they're going to get Daniel Amesbury back for next weekend's 3-game set, 2 against Kansas City and 1 against Tulsa. I think he had some commitments that he had made prior to signing with the Grizzlies they had to fulfill. Utah wins the draw. They're on the power play. Genev will skip it towards Shea in the left wing. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Hyder. Rebound is cleared towards the near wing boards. Good play by Joey Cipolone, who backhands it up and not out. Hanson Bukata across towards Shea. Up top to Lebster, who has 4 game-winning goals this season. Over to AHB. He feeds in the middle of the ice for Grattan. Lefty shot. Rebound shot. A score! Neil Shea gets his 6th of the year. It's a power play goal as Utah takes a 2-0 lead. The fans at Maverik Center are going nuts. Grattan fired a hard shot on Hyder. It bounced off a Hyder and trickled towards the left wing, and Neil Shea collected it. As AHB should get the secondary assist. Grattan was blocked away by Hyder. Rebound and Shea, and he had plenty of velocity. He fired it past Hyder. So Neil Shea with the goal, and the assist should go to Aiden Hanson Bukata and Tyler Grattan. That should be Grattan's 7th power play assist. And for Tyler Grattan, that'll mean he now has a point in 7 of his last 10 games. Boy, the crowd's having a ton of fun here tonight at Maverik Center, making some great memories in the Grizzlies' final hunt. 2-0 Utah. We're back to skating 5-on-5. Atlanta over the line. Left side is Matier. Gets thrown to the boards. Physical play by Robbie Stucker, the 6'3", 180-pound defenseman. Randy Connolly in section 114 is having a good time. As Grizzlies flopping out towards center ice. Utah pushed ahead towards Genev. He skates the right wings. Stops in the point. Trying to get to Timofeyev. It's snapped off a couple sticks. Now Genev gets it right side. Toe drag. Oh, I look to center it. And it's towards the crease. Everybody hacking away. Hyder's covered up. Boy, Genev tried to throw it into traffic. Now looks like Matier and the Grizzly pushing each other. And that was Griffin Ness, who's already been in one fight tonight. I looked like Matier tried to get Talk Ness into his second fight of the night, which would mean he'd be thrown out of the game. So the scoring on the goal is exactly as we thought. Shea 13:30 in with Grattan and Aiden Hanson Bukata getting the assists. Grattan becomes the second Grizzly forward to score 10 assists. He has 10 assists on the year. Utah leads 2-0. Timeout on the ice. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
5 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second period. Utah leads 2-0. We're skating 5-on-5. Draws in the Gladiator zone. Utah skating from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Conrad with the puck as he gets pushed to the boards by Connors. Connors falls down. Puck goes up top. Robbie Stucker will pedal towards his left with the blue line near his feet. Gansky backhands to Shea. And Shea Back towards Cooper Gay. Gay delivers a push in the back of Scardina. Now Ethan Scardina gets the puck. He gets tapped by Gay once, twice, but Scardina is able to move it across center ice. It goes into the Grizzlies zone, no icing. As Riley Appelt's got good speed, he gets pinned to the boards by Stucker. Gansky joins the play along with the Gladiator. Neil Shea skates in. Connors comes out with a puck as he was surveying the scene. As Connors off the near wing boards, Jarvis gets it back to the Grizzlies corner. Utah gets ahead. Pass goes tape to tape. Dancing around Riley Connors as he's waiting for others to join him. As Connors trying to get towards Cooper Gay, got held up by Scardina. As back towards the right side. It looked like Connors was just hoping to get it to a teammate as he had a Gladiator draped all over him. As he was entering the offensive zone with momentum, the Gladiators will saucer it ahead. Emil Sharon with a good vertical leap as he jumped out of the way of the puck. Felton gets pushed into the Gladiators zone, and that causes Utah to be offside. 4:41's left in the second period. Good defensive play by Atlanta. He knew that Felton had the puck, and he just pushed him in there. Or I think somebody else had the puck and pushed Felton in there to create the offside. Fans believe it's karaoke night here at Maverik Center. Everybody having a good time, and I don't know what the official attendance total is going to be, but I do believe this is the biggest crowd so far this season. Fans chug a beer, and looks like they're going to be successful in chugging the beer. They're going to get a big hand from this Maverik Center crowd. You bet. Draws it neutralized after Utah's call for offside. Face-off won by the Gladiators. Nychuk gets a basketball screen around a Grizzly. Skates the center ice, leaves it for Francis. So he'll take a righty shot left wing that misses high over Koskiasuo. Puck goes back to center ice. Manning over the offense line. He'll dump it in and chase after. He gets around Mateer. Manning gets the puck. He's an outstanding skater. As Grizzlies, Barbashev gets pushed. Now it goes towards Friesen. Right wing shot, and that's blocked. Gladiators clear it out. Koskiasuo has to play it, though, in front of the crease, so no icing. Gladiators fit in the line change. We have about 4 minutes left in the second period. Grizzlies lead 2-0. They've outshot the Gladiators 22-12. Grizzlies dump it in as Carson Denemy in the back check. Manning took it away. Now Webster will skate towards the slot. He'll take a righty shot, and it's sticked away by Hyder, and it flies out of play. 3:50 left in the second. The Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Fans make some noise. Outstanding crowd here on a Saturday night. Great atmosphere. A lot of good action across the National Hockey League in this league. Grizzlies are in their 8th season as an affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. And oddly enough, Atlanta's NHL affiliate, the Nashville Predators, are facing the Avalanche tonight. We'll go over that score during the second intermission. Conroy gets the puck after Atlanta wins the faceoff, and he'll saucer it in. As Koskiasuo slides it towards the right corner, which is the far side. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Anson Buchanan holds up a Gladiator. Cipolone towards the board, throws it back to where he vacated. Now Cipolone, righty backhand shot, saved by Koskiasuo, and the net crashes open. So it's still a 2-0 game. It looks like the referee says it's going to be in the right circle. They'll put the net back in place. Carson Denemy puts his helmet back on. And he knew the Grizzlies were going to have to give a grade A effort against this outstanding Atlanta club, and Utah looking to salvage the third game of the series. Utah's been a strong Saturday club with a record of 4-1-1 on Saturdays this season. Both teams have 0 days of rest, and the Grizzlies have actually been a pretty good team with no days rest, where they have a record of 6-4-1. Draws give me in the right circle. Manning will take it. It's won by Atlanta. Backhand shot goes a little bit wide. Gratton slides it up but not out. Conroy will tap it off the glass. Goes behind Koskiasuo's net. Ends. Will bounce one off the referee. Now Manning gets the puck and he'll nudge it ahead towards Webster. Webster will backhand it in as Grizzlies make a full line change. About 3 minutes are left in the second period. Grizzlies lead 2-0. Louis Boudon will bounce one off the ankle of Genev. Boudon gets it back. He'll skate over the offensive line left wing, and he'll dump it into the corner. Walter and a Grizzly collide. The glass goes swaying back and forth. Gansky gets hit up high, and no penalty. As along the right side, puck slides back towards the left corner. Gansky collides with Walter. Those are two big guys. As Gansky goes 6'7", Walter is about 6'6". Even though he's listed at 6'4", he's a very big 6'4". Jarvis up top, left point. His shot's blocked. It's diving in front, step on Timo Fave. You can count on him playing hard every game. Genev will ice the puck. Atlanta's Andrew Jarvis chases after it. No icing. It looked like Andy Van Wagner thought there was going to be icing, but it was waved off. Genev feeds it in the middle of the ice. It's poked away by Karabia. Now loose puck. Scardina will bounce one off a Grizzly. Scardina still in his own zone towards the corner as Connors holds him up. Genev gets pushed by Karabia. 3 other Grizzlies looking nearby. Atlanta comes out with a puck. Atlanta in the black jerseys. They'll tap it off the top of the glass. It goes into the Grizzlies zone. Loose puck. Weinstein fakes getting it. Now he gets it around Morgan. He'll sky it off the glass. Goes out to center ice. Weinstein got hit pretty hard. He gets back to his feet. Genev trying to get around Nychuk, but the puck will wobble towards Hyder. He freezes it in the crease, and he stops play with 1:54 left in the second. So it's going to be an offensive zone drop for the Grizzlies. Utah's outshot Atlanta 22-12. So not many shots either side. They show the replay of Timofeyev sacrificing his body. Timofeyev's been a great addition to the Grizzlies. Came over in late October in a trade for the rights to Dante Sheriff. And Sheriff is now a member of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Timofeyev actually played against the Grizzlies in the regular season opener. October 17th as a member of the Swamp Rabbits. That's a game the Grizzlies won. I think 3-1. 3-1 was the final score. That was the game where Garrett Pike scored 2 goals. Pike's back in this league as a member of the South Carolina Stingrays. As Weinstein gets the puck, but he goes back to neutral ice. He tried to get around Riley Appelt. Appelt tried to cross-check Weinstein in the side and swung and missed on it. As Appelt battles with Shea. Cooper Gay gets the puck, the big 6'4" forward, 229 pounds. As Nychuk and Gay each collide over the Longby far wing boards. 1.5 left in the second period. Puck goes back to the right wing. Utah avoids a check. As Felton trying to locate the puck. It goes up top. Connors fires towards the net. It gets redirected by Gay's stick. Sharp angled shot. Hacking away in the crease. Now it slides towards the corner. As Connors got more board than Nychuk on a hit in the corner. Atlanta raced over the offensive line. They tried to get towards Scardina, but it was overled for him. It's back towards the near corner. Grizzlies get it. Cooper Gay is kind of on a conditioning rehab assignment, coming back from an injury. Connors gains center ice. Snell tapping off the boards. It goes deep in the Gladiator zone. Utah will switch up forwards. 50 seconds left in the second period. Wes, hot pass towards the Atlanta bench is picked off. Grizzlies will skip it towards the right corner. Conroy is thrown to the boards by a Grizzly. I think that's Barbashev. Actually, it's not Barbashev. He's got a 1, and that's Evan Friesen. Barbashev is on the ice. Boy, less sidestep Barbashev, who tried to light him up. Puck in the Grizzlies zone. Light them up like those specialty jerseys the Grizzlies are wearing tonight. Very bright-looking colors. As the Grizzlies will bank it off the boards. Puck goes towards the Atlanta line. As Jarvis chases after it, Grizzlies close the gap. Barbashev lights up a Grizzly, and now Ryan Nolan's going to fight Barbashev. Nolan swings on a right. Now he swings on a couple rights. Nolan goes to town. Now Barbashev goes to town on the right. And Barbashev and Ryan Nolan hold each other. Now Barbashev gets in the right. Nolan gets a right. Drags down Barbashev and tries to get back to his feet, and the linesmen step in. Boy, Barbashev with a huge hit on Andrew Jarvis, and Ryan Nolan immediately dropped his gloves before Barbashev did. Barbashev goes to the locker room, so's Ryan Nolan. Second fight here in the second period, and boy, the biggest hit probably was before the fight. Jarvis was in the corner, and Barbashev just lit him up. 11.9 seconds are left in the second period. And you wonder, does the referee give Nolan an instigator? Barbashev was just standing there after the fight, and Ryan Nolan was about 20 feet away from Barbashev, and he dropped his gloves immediately and said, "We're fighting." And then Barbashev really had no choice, but he had to drop his gloves as well. As they show the replay, huge collision. And they're going to show that replay over and over and over again. Then Ryan Nolan said, "We're fighting." Didn't even give Barbashev time to drop his gloves. Nolan was able to get a couple shots in. Then Barbashev went to town on the right. And Nolan probably had the best, probably had the last punch. And Nolan with the left and then the right there. Barbashev trying to get back to his feet, but then the linesman said that was it. So 2 second period fights. As Jarvis out in open ice. Big time hit by Barbashev, and Nolan said, let's go. Nolan's going to get an extra 2 minutes. You bet he's the one he's the one that said, let's go. And then Barbashev and Nolan started throwing punches before Barbashev even had time to drop his gloves. So with that, the Grizzlies are going to get a power play. Instigating is going to be the call. That's exactly what I was thinking. He gets an instigator, 2-minute penalty, and Barbashev and Nolan each get 5 for fighting. So the Grizzlies, if they don't score in the final 11.9 seconds of the second period, will have a power play to start the third. And somebody has to go to the penalty box representing the Gladiators. And they probably should have let Andrew Jarvis go to the box. He was the one that got lit up by Barbashev. We'll see who ends up going to the box. It's going to be Ryan Francis representing the Gladiators. So you got to believe everybody here in attendance is having a great time. So Draw's going to be over in the left circle. Utah's on a power play. Utah does have a power play goal tonight. They have a power play in 14 of the last 18 games. Off the draw, shot goes wide. That was taken by Shea. 7 seconds left in the period. Utah have one more shot in him. Webster gets to Shea down the middle. His shot, his stick breaks and slides towards Hyder at the buzzer. As Neil Shea looking for a one-timer as the puck slid towards him. Grizzlies believe there should be some time added to the clock as Hyder looked like he covered it up with a second left. And now it does look like they'll put some time back on the clock. As Shea's equipment let him down on the one-timer. He had a pretty good look all alone. He could have, Shea could have had all the velocity and all the time there, and his stick let him down. So I'll put I think 1.1 second back on the clock. Some of the fans are trying to get a head start to the concession stands. And I'd probably go back to the concession stands as well. You got to get in that front of that line. I got to imagine there's going to be some lines in the concession stands here tonight. As Manning will take the draw for Utah. Could be one of those that Manning wins it cleanly. Maybe AHB's got a shot. Off the draw, Lepster shot, he scores! He scores! Reed Lepster at the buzzer scores! And the Grizzlies take a 3-0 lead! Oh, baby, what a play! Draw was won cleanly by Manning. Lepster fired it past Hyder. Unbelievable. And that one definitely should count. They're probably going to look to make sure that the puck crossed the goal line before time ran out. They're going to take a look at it. On second thought, don't go to the concession stands. You just missed a goal. Oh, how about that? Draw one cleanly. Lepster helicoptered it past Hyder. And the call on the ice is a good goal. They're going to have a video replay. How about that? Manning won the draw cleanly. He's going to get an assist. I was thinking AHB because you had AHB towards Manning's right and then Lepster was towards his left. Draw went back towards Lepster, and he'll get his team leading 11th of the year, assuming it counts. So they're going to check to make sure it does count. They're going to take a good long look at it. So how about that moment? We had quite a few good moments here tonight. You got the Teddy Bear toss goal. You had 2 fights in the second period. And Lepster will get Utah's second power play goal of the night. Neil Shea scored 13:30 into the second on a power play goal with Bratton and Hanson Bukata getting the assists. Manning should get the lone assist. There was 1.1 seconds left in the second period. So a great job by the Grizzlies being alert because once Shea broke his stick, Hyder had it covered up with just over a second left, and they put that time back on the clock, and it might be just enough time. If we're talking about thrilling moments, that's got to be right up there for this season. That's got to be the goal of the year in terms of what a Grizzly had scored. Griffin Ness has had some nice-looking goals. Danny Janea with a hat trick earlier this season. I think the Grizzlies have already had two hat tricks this year. So they're checking to make sure it's a good goal. But what a fun one we've had here. Reed Lepster with that outstanding hat-trick performance on October 24th against Idaho. Webster with 4 game winners this season. That's time for the league lead. Everybody waiting with bated breath. Is it going to be a good goal? We haven't seen a replay yet. Everybody a little bit nervous. So what's it going to be? Referee comes out of the box and he signals. Good goal. It's 3-0 Utah. As Emil Sharon's going to go tell Matt Ginn what he saw. What a great moment at Maverik Center. 1.1 second left in the second period. I'd say probably 500 fans headed and tried to get a head start in the concession stands. And I was probably going to do the same thing if I were a fan. You want to get in front of that line, but Luke Manning won the faceoff cleanly, and then Reed Webster just fired it past Hyder. And Hyder had no clue where it was. 0.3 seconds are left in the second period as Utah leads 3-0. What an effort for John Buchanan and Ryan Anderson's crew here tonight. Webster with the goal, Manning with the assists. Manning came into play with 3 assists in his last 3 games. And for Reed Webster, it's his team leading 11th of the year. Puck is dropped, and that will do it for 40 minutes as the Grizzlies lead 3-0. The first period goal from Evan Friesen, second period goals from Neil Shea, and a thriller buzzer beater for Reed Webster from the right wing, right off a Luke Manning face-off win. And if I'm on the Dash platform, you know what? I'm probably going to think about getting a Reed Webster jersey. He went stick side past Hyder. And Utah, this has been one of the best 40-minute efforts they put forth so far this season. They got to complete the task because obviously Atlanta's not going to quit. Utah's looking to salvage the third game of the series. It's 3-0 Grizzlies after 40 minutes of play. We'll come back and recap the first 40. There's been a lot that's happened and a lot of fun stuff happening here on Teddy Bear Toss night. Grizzlies lead by a field goal 3-0 over the Atlanta Gladiators. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
That's about as fun a game as we've seen all year. It's Utah Grizzlies 3 and the Atlanta Gladiators nothing. I know just about everybody's getting their money's worth here at Maverik Center tonight, and what an exciting game we've had. We knew it was going to be a festive atmosphere with Teddy Bear Toss, and everybody was just waiting for most of the first period as the score was tied. And then Evan Friesen scored on a rebound from a John Gillette shot, 16:55 in, and it really might not have been the first effort for Friesen. It might have been the second effort, as it looked like as Hyder was trying to locate the puck, Friesen was able to find Hyder off balance, and he was able to slide it past the goal line. And with that, we're estimating, we have no clue how many teddy bears and stuffed animals were thrown on the ice, but I got to imagine the Grizzlies once again broke a team record. They had 5,390 teddy bears last season, and there's got to be well over 6,000 this year. Attendance has already been counted, and it does appear to be a season high. We'll go over that later. Utah led 1-0 after one period. The Grizzlies outshot the Gladiators 13-5 in the first frame. In the second period, well, it was a 1-0 game. We had a fight behind the Atlanta net. Louis Bedone and Griffin Ness dropped the gloves. And that was 8:02, and it was actually the Grizzlies net that they were fighting behind. That's at least a second or third fight that Griffin Ness is getting into this season. We'd probably call that one a draw. Neither guy really, it's probably more a wrestling match than a boxing match, but both guys were able to hold their ground, and they got 5 for fighting 8:02 into the second period. At one point, the Grizzlies had they were shorthanded 5-on-3. As that came early in the second period before the fight, and the Grizzlies killed off the 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 power plays. Utah got a power play halfway through the second period as Ryan Conroy backhanded one to a fan, and he was in his own zone, so he gave Utah power play. Neil Shea scored on a rebound from the Tyler Gratton shot, 13:30 in. Shea with the 6th of the year. Gratton and Hanson Bukata with the assist. That's Tyler Gratton's 10th assist of the year and Hanson Bukata's 7th power play assist. And then what a classic moment. One of the craziest moments happened at the very end of the second period. As if you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the second period stats. Grizzlies with 7 scoring chances on 12 shots. Atlanta 4 scoring chances on 7 shots. Grizzlies won the faceoff battle 12-10, meaning the Grizzlies so far tonight have a 22-16 edge in the faceoff circle. Grizzlies with 9 power play shots. They were on the power play late in the second period, as Ryan Nolan and Maxime Barbashev each got fighting majors 1948 in, as Barbashev in open ice near the right corner of the Gladiators were defending. He just lit up Ryan Conroy, and Ryan Nolan said, "We're fighting." Nolan dropped his gloves, and Nolan was able to get a couple blows in before Barbashev was able to drop his gloves. And with that, Nolan got 2 minutes for instigating, and that gave Utah power play for the final 12 seconds of the second period. I guess we want to know how physical this game is. According to the off-ice officials, the Grizzlies have 21 hits through 2 periods, and Atlanta has 23. Both teams have quite a few giveaways. Grizzlies with 11 and Atlanta also with 11 through 2 periods. So Nolan instigating the fight with Barbashev gave Utah power play. Shea took a shot from the high slot, and a stick broke, and the puck just kind of slowly trickled towards Hyder, who covered up. And the whistle blew with 1.1 second left in the second period. So you knew that the only way the Grizzlies were able to score in that situation is a clean face-off win. Manning had Hanson Bukata behind him to his right and Lepster behind him to his left. Manning won the face-off cleanly. Lepster fired away and got it past Ethan Hyder's stick side with 0.3 seconds left in the second period. And that made it a 3-0 game before the face-off. And I think quite a few fans would be thinking, okay, 1.1 seconds left. There's not going to be anything that happens. Let's go to the concession stands and make sure we're first in line to get a hot dog. And unfortunately for those people, they may have been first in line. And they're already coming down here with their popcorn and ice cream. But the problem is they missed a goal, as Lepster found the back of the net in what was one of the more thrilling moments we will see all season. So Utah took a 3-0 lead. And that's where we sit after 40 minutes against a very strong Atlanta Gladiators team. And that's really part of what makes this thing so fun, is knowing that the Grizzlies are going to have to earn it against an Atlanta club who came in winning the first 2 games of this series, and Atlanta, who is 16-5 on the season. Grizzlies are 2 for 4 on the power play, and they are also 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Who's been aggressive offensively tonight? How about Reed Lepster? Scored that buzzer beater to close out the second period. He leads Utah with 6 shots. Neil Shea with 5 shots. Evan Friesen with 4. 2 shots for Danny Genev, then a few other Grizzlies with 1 shot through 2 periods. The Gladiators, they have 12 shots through 2 frames. Isaac Walter, Louis Boudon, and Chad Nychuk each have 2 shots, and 6 other Gladiators with 1 shot each. Ethan Hyder has saved 22 of 25 on the Atlanta side. And how about Casimir Conspicuo? In his Grizzlies debut, he has stopped all 12 shots he has seen. He's making his Grizzlies debut. He just signed this past Sunday. He played in 10 games with Bloomington last year and 2 games with the Norfolk Admirals, and he does know what it's like to live the dream. He played in 1 NHL game with the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the 2019-2020 season. He played in 15 minutes in a game with the Nashville Predators in the 2020-21 campaign. He's got plenty of American Hockey League time, and he actually has been very productive in his time in the American Hockey League, mostly with the Toronto Marlies. Also spent some time with the other organizations 2 years ago. Had a .909 save percentage in the AHL with Laval Rockets. Also had a full season just about with the Chicago Wolves, where he had a .914 save percentage and 2.38 goals against average. That was the 2017-2018 season. So Grizzlies picked up a pretty good goaltender 6 days ago who was just kind of hanging around making YouTube videos and just waiting for the call, and the Grizzlies gave him the call, and he's been outstanding in his Utah debut. Fans are having a good time here, and obviously with a lot of thrilling moments. Evan Friesen scored the Teddy Bear Toss goal, 16:55 in. And that was his 4th of the year. John Gillette assisted on it. And, the 2 fights in the second period, and obviously the 2 power play goals led by the buzzer beater with Reed Lepster at the very end of the period. And you combine all that and the so far successful debut for Kaskiasuo. Hey, you're talking about a lot of fun things happening at Maverik Center. Remember, it's the final home game for the Grizzlies before the Christmas break, but make sure to stock those stuffings, or I don't know what that term is, a stocking stuffer. I don't think stock your stuffings is really the right way to say it, but you know what? Grizzlies have 2 home games right after the Christmas break. December 26th and 27th, they face the arch rival Idaho Steelheads. It's the final 2 regular season meetings all time between these rivals. We mentioned it during the first intermission. It's absolutely inconceivable that these arch rivals, and for the Grizzlies, the only team they can realistically bust to, how you don't play a game in the final 3 months of the regular season against each other. But that's the scenario we have. And with that, you're going to want to make sure you get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. You want to be part of Grizzmania and all the exciting action of the Utah Grizzlies' final hunt for a Kelly Cup. When we come back, we'll go over some ECHL and NHL scores. One bit of news in the world of sports. The Heisman Trophy was announced earlier today, and Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza won the award. We'll come back and go over some scores on the other side. Utah leads 3-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Let's check in on the National Hockey League action as Utah leads Atlanta 3-0. Atlanta, a former NHL market. They had the Atlanta Flames in the late 70s, early 80s, and the Atlanta Thrashers for about a dozen years. One of their broadcasters was Matt McConnell. In fact, he was the last voice of the Atlanta Thrashers, and he's currently calling games for the Utah Mammoth. And former Atlanta Gladiator broadcaster Mike Fulta is currently calling games for the Utah Mammoth. So that means in the year 2030, our good friend Guy Carenza will be calling games for the Utah Mammoth. Action across the National Hockey League. Interestingly enough, tonight, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are taking on the Gladiators NHL affiliate, the Nashville Predators. And there's 15 minutes left in the third period, and the Avalanche lead the Predators 3-1. Victor Olofsson, Jack Drury, and Nathan McKinnon have the Colorado goals. Jonathan Marcia show with the Nashville tally. That game has 14 minutes, 49 seconds left in the third period. Colorado leads Nashville 3-1. After one period of play, Adrian Kempe scored 11-10 in. Kings lead the Flames 1-0. Games have gone final. A rematch of the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. Devils defeat the Ducks 4-1. In 2003, the Devils won that best-of-7 series 4-3. Wild over the Senators 3-2. Wild made a crazy trade where they acquired Quinn Hughes from the Vancouver Canucks for 3 players and a draft pick. Sharks in overtime get a 6-5 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins, as the overtime game winner was scored by John Klingberg. And celebrating, picked up one of the assists on that overtime game winner. Islanders over the Lightning 3-2 in a shootout. Shootout game winner was scored by Heineman. Charles Edward Dast, who played about 23 minutes worth of ice time for the Lightning in the shootout loss. Oilers defeat the Maple Leafs 6-3. Tristan Jarry made his Edmonton debut, recently acquired in a trade with Pittsburgh. He saved 25 of 28. Big games for Edmonton Stars, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. In overtime, Rangers over the Canadiens 5-4. As JT Miller scored the game winner, 2:56 in. In a shootout, Hurricanes over the Flyers 4-3. Golden Knights defeat the Blue Jackets 3-2. Jets defeat the Capitals 5-1. Blackhawks, the Red Wings defeat the Blackhawks 4-0. It was also a 4-0 final as the Panthers defeat the Stars. In Vegas's 3-2 victory. No points for Ivan Barbashev, the brother of Maxim Barbashev, who got in a fight late in the second period, and because it was instigated by Ryan Nolan, Utah got a power play, and they capitalized as the goal was scored by Reed Lepster. If you're talking about thrilling moments and thrilling memories, and when we think back 20 years from now to the Grizzlies' final season, that Reed Lepster second period buzzer beater might be one of the first things you think about. And this might be one of the nights you think about. You know, an outstanding atmosphere, great night for hockey, and the Grizzlies seem to have their A game tonight. So far, a successful debut for Kasimir Koskiasuo. Neil Shea came back after missing 2 games with an injury. He was good to go, and he scored a second period power play goal. Evan Friesen with the teddy bear toss goal, and with that, a great showing of teddy bears and stuffed animals here late in the first period. So with that, you know, we're having so much fun here that it's just a shame that we got 4 months left in the regular season, but we're just trying to have some fun and make some memories along the way. And hopefully after the season, you know, I'll be able to find something where I can continue to do what I love. And after all, this is no fun hobby for me. This isn't just a fun hobby for me. We're just trying to have some fun doing what we love to do. I'll see if the Grizzlies can complete the victory. They've got 20 minutes left, and you know Atlanta's not going to quit. They're 16-5 for a reason, so Utah's going to have to come out strong in the third if they want to get 2 standings points. When we come back, we'll have third period action. You've been tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
We're about set for third period action. If you're watching on Flow Sports, there are some of the highlights of the first 2 periods. Neil Shea scored from the left wing to make it a 2-0 game. And then at the buzzer, how about Reed Lepster? He scored with 0.3 seconds left. And it was a power play goal. Utah is 2 for 4 on the power play, and they are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. So Draw's going to be at center ice. Grizzlies will skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Atlanta will skate from left to right. Utah will start the second period with a forward line of Danny Genev, Griffin Ness, and Stepan Timofeyev. Ness will take the draw. And a defensive pairing of Colby Enns and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. And among the 3-0 score, you can't forget about the defensive play AHB made in the first period as a puck trickled past Koski-Yasuo, and Hansen-Bukata dove and cleared the puck out and dislodged the net. And there's an outstanding defensive effort. Grizzlies have put together 40 great minutes. We'll see if they'll complete the task and play a full 60. Atlanta wins the draw. They'll throw it towards the Utah line, and we get our first whistle as Atlanta is offside 5 seconds into the third period. So John's going to be near the Grizzlies bench. Fans coming back from the concession stands. And I got to imagine those are the people. They weren't there the whole time. I got to imagine they saw the buzzer beater to finish out the second period. Draw one by Atlanta. Nychuk overleads Walter. Or make that Jack Mateer number 21. Mateer and Walter are both pretty big. Mateer goes 6'6", and Walter's listed at 6'4". Genev over the offensive line, skates towards the left side. His lefty shot sticked away by Mateer. Puck towards the right side. Denemy will sky it out towards center ice. Young gets the puck. He'll backhand it in as he had Timofeyev nearby. Hansen-Bukata swings it along the boards. Big time hit as Timofeyev and Francis Clyde. Genev ice the puck, and we get a whistle with 19:24 left in the third. So draw comes back towards Casimir Koski-Yasuo. He's the second Grizzly player to wear number 29 this season. Dryden McKay wore 29 earlier this year. He got traded to the Bloomington Bison. Coincidentally enough, that was the team that Koski-Yasuo played with last season. He was in 10 games of the Bison, had pretty good numbers. Draw one by Utah. Ends off his stick. He regathers it. He'll tap it to Timofeyev. He gets about waist high and bats it out to center ice. Grizzlies fit in a much-needed line change. Third game in 4 days. Koski-Yasuo will sweep it towards his right. Grizzlies tap it off the glass. Puck hippity hops between the legs of Conroy. Timofeyev closes the gap. Conroy gets there first as Timofeyev got cut off by Brendan Less. Walter crosses center ice down the middle. He'll move it into the left side. Now across to Boudon. Right side. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Koski-Yasuo. He holds on as he crouched down in the butterfly to make the stop. 1:04 into the third period. Next game for the Grizzlies will be on Friday night on the road at Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri as they take on the Kansas City Mavericks. It begins a 3-game road trip, a busy weekend as Utah will face Kansas City next Friday and Saturday, and the Tulsa Oilers on December 21st. That's right, the Grizzlies are going to have travel between the second and third game of a 3-3. Off the draw, Walter fires a righty shot that goes wide. Brendan Less over in the left point, backhands it ahead. Walter behind the net, gets engulfed by a Grizzly. Walter tries to muscle his way towards the right side, shielding Weinstein from the puck. Back up top, Conroy dance around back towards Walter in the high slot. Take a righty shot. Saved by Koski-Yasuo. Rebound goes towards the far corner. Louis Boudon's got a nail on his sweater. Skates towards the right side. He'll backhand it towards the spot that he vacated. Sylvester gets pushed towards the glass by Gansky. Walter dancing around. So he gets pushed by a Grizzly. Puck trickles in front of the net. Boudon bounces towards Koski-Yasuo. Puck is whipped towards the near wing boards. Less than the right point gets it. A lot of offensive zone time for the Gladiators. Walter right side is righty shots blocked by Manning. Conroy over in the far corner. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. Walter fires towards the net and it's kicked away as he might have been looking for Sylvester to redirect it. Boudon tries to pedal his feet, but he gets bounced by Gansky. As Gansky looks over Boudon. Cipollone feeds up top. Brendan Less dancing back and forth. He's in the right point. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide. He missed the net stick side on Koski-Yasuo. As the puck around the boards, Grizzlies make a line change. As racing all the way towards the far corner to cut it off is Ethan Hyder. There's Brendan Less on the back check by Cooper Gay, but is able to nudge it towards Scardina, who loses the puck as he had it trickle in front of him. Grizzlies push it deep into the Gladiator zone. Dylan Carabia with the puck. He's making his season debut, and I think it's actually his Gladiators debut as well. He'll get to the near side for Cipollone, who gets the neutralize over to Scardina, who gets engulfed by Christian Felton. As puck towards neutralize, now Gladiators will back it out into their own zone. Atlanta out to neutralize. Now they'll pitch back towards Krabius, a 6'3", 200-pound defenseman. Head towards Burns, but it was overled for him. Shea gets it towards Connors, back to Shea in the left wing. He's already got one goal tonight. Centering pass, and Weinstein got a stick lifted, or else he would have had a good chance on Hyder. Atlanta comes in 3-on-3. Burns centers out to Morgan, who couldn't corral it. Morgan swung and missed, trying to shovel towards the net, and a centering pass. Grizzlies will race out to center ice. Striding along the right wings is Connors. He'll cross center ice and dump it in. Grizzlies make a full line change. 3.5 minutes into the third period. It's 3-0 Utah. Nychuk tries to split a double team, gets the puck taken away from him. Grizzlies race out to center ice. Righty shot. That one sticked away as Timofeyev broke his stick. And the puck slides towards Hyder, who covers up. 16:25 is the time remaining, third period, and Utah leads 3-0. So faceoff's going to be in the right circle. Timofeyev on a slap shot just outside the circle, and his stick broke. Seen a few broken sticks here so far tonight. Fans having a good time. It's, I believe, a season-high crowd of 6,081. That's the attendance, 6,081 here at Maverik Center tonight, and they've been treated to a beauty. Utah wins the draw. John Gillette in the back check. Conroy and Gillette battle behind Atlanta's net. Gillette gets knifed away by Alex Young. Conroy will spin it towards his right. Morgan gets the center ice, and he'll sky it towards Koskiasuo. And he'll outlet it to the near side as the whistle was slow to blow. In fact, it was so slow it didn't blow. Reeson backhands it across. Now the Grizzlies will zip it out to center ice off of the stick of John Gillette. As going down is Hanson Bukata. That's a big high hit. And with that, the whistle blows. It's going to be a penalty. And hopefully he's all right. Actually, it's Timofeyev that got hit, number 10. Love these jerseys, but they're not exactly easy. It was Timofeyev that got hit up high. And a penalty is going to be on the Gladiators. As Timofeyev was striding down the wings along the near side, trying to skate into the Atlanta zone. Timofeyev is going to get checked out by the Grizzlies trainer, Brooke Timoney. And going to the box, Ryan Nolan's still serving a fighting major, and Alex Young will sit for 2 minutes. 15:54 is left in the third. The Grizzlies already have 2 power play goals tonight. As they show the replay. And that's just an elbow to the face. Alex Young must have been a Karl Malone fan, as that looks like a Karl Malone elbow. 2 minutes for roughing. Although you could have easily called elbowing with the nature of it. Manning's out there with Gratton, Lepster, Hanson Bukata, and Shea. That's a party of 5 for Utah on this power play. Atlanta wins the draw, and they'll sell it all the way towards Koskiasuo. Hanson Bukata around his net. He's got 1 power play assist tonight and 7 on the year. Gets to center ice for Shea. Back to the Utah line for Manning. He'll bounce to the center of the ice for Lepster. An Atlanta player lost his stick. Gratton tried to muscle his way around Nychuk, and Nychuk took it away. 2-on-3. Atlanta over the offensive line. Nychuk skates towards the left circle. Try to get to Cipollone out in front. And a glance of his stick. Puck flips into the air. Gratton gets it. Utah's number skating to the offensive zone. Lepster to the middle of the ice for Shea. Lefty shot. That one's blocked away by Hyder. Rebound shot from the right side by Felton. Misses wide. Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Lepster towards Shea. As he feeds to the left goal line. Gratton back to Shea. One-timer. And that's sticked away by Burns. And it flies out of play. With 15:04 left in the third. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies as they switch up skaters. Maxim Barbashev's out of the penalty box after serving his fighting major. Nolan's still in there as he had the 2-minute penalty, although the Grizzlies did score on that power play, but Nolan's still in the box. He's talking things over with Alex Young. Evan Friesen takes the dry, looks over both shoulders. It's a face-off won by Utah. Christian Felton's got 2 goals against Atlanta this season. Left side, righty shot, saved by Hyder. Rebound goes towards Scardina, and he will skip it all the way towards Koskiasuo. Timofeyev looks over both shoulders. He gets the puck. He'll skate around Utah's net. He'll drop it for Felton. Now Felton will start the attack. He'll outlet it right wing to the center ice. Grizzlies cross center ice. Stepping over the offensive line's Ness over to Timofeyev, left wing. Timo throws in the middle of the ice. Oh, Atlanta almost scores an own goal, kicking into their own net. And the Gladiators, Scardina clears it out. About 30 seconds left in Utah's power play. Last home game before the Christmas break. Grizzlies have 3 road games, then Idaho will be in town the first 2 days after Christmas, December 26th and 27th. Head to the right wing. Ness taps it in. He comes off the ice. Atlanta will sky it all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. 12 seconds left in the power play. Gansky moves to the right wing. Robbie Stucker slides to the center ice. Cooper Gay off his stick. Gay regathers the puck along the near wing boards. He accelerates around Boudome. As Gay moves to the right side, Danny Genev has a glance off his stick. As coming out of the box is Alex Young. West with a strong outlet pass. Young looked like he might have been offside, but no, says the linesman, but Young let it go. Connors gets it to Genev. So race across center ice, veer off to his right, throws it between Walter's legs. Genev gets it off the boards, tries to get around Les. Genev centers it, and it's off a couple sticks. Hanson Buchanan gets it back in deeper. Mateer around his net, shielding Genev from the puck. Sylvester between his legs. Francis cross center ice to get good speed. Tries to get around Colby ends. Puck slides towards the left corner. Francis gets held up by a Grizzly. As Nychuk throws it back, and Hanson Buchanan continues to have a hold on a Gladiator. Grizzlies banking off the far wing boards. Puck goes out to center ice. Nychuk bounces it to the Utah line. Hanson Buchanan shovels it ahead. And moving it in is John Gillette, who's got 1 assist tonight. He assisted on the Freese and Teddy Bartos goal late in the first period. Scrum along the left wing boards. Barbashev looking nearby. 12:50 on a moving clock, and it looks like a Grizzly lost his stick. And that's Gillette. He'll skate towards the bench without a stick. As he'll take a seat, Gillette gets a new stick from DJ McFarland, the equipment manager. Sylvester gets the puck. He's at the point of the Gladiators zone, but he gets it taken away. Gratton bounced it ahead. It glanced off the skate of a linesman. Gratton gets some lumber in the back by Sylvester. Atlanta, rink-wide feed, angle right, goes past Morgan. He got a piece of it, either him or Weinstein. Morgan fires towards the net, saves that rebound shot, save, as Morgan made the first save and the second save on an Appel shot. Whistle blows. High sticking's going to be the call, but 2 great saves by Kazimir Koskiasuo. 12:17 left in the third period. Utah leads 3-0. And it's going to be a power play for the Grizzlies. As Atlanta gets called for high sticking 2 minutes. Arguing the case is Andrew Jarvis. B goes to the box. Utah leads 3-0. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverik Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
12 minutes, 17 seconds. Grizzlies lead 3-0. Utah's on a power play as Andrew Jarvis got 2 minutes for high sticking. 9:43 into the third. Luke Manning will take the drives out there with Lubster. Gratton up top is Shea and Hanson Buchanan. Atlanta wins the draw. They're banking off the boards. And the puck skips towards Koskiasuo. He's had a pretty strong game for the Grizzlies. Utah's outshot Atlanta 28-17. Hanson Buchanan fakes behind him. Strides along the left wing. Skates over the offense line. Dangling back and forth. Shot saved by Hyder. And the whistle blows. Hyder covered it up, and then the whistle was late to blow, and then he tried to move it out. But Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. 11:58 left in the third. 1:41 left in the power play. And Utah, really for the Grizzlies, time can't run quick enough. Manning will take the face-off. He's got 1 assist tonight. He won that face-off cleanly that led to the Lubster buzzer beater. Manning's played some strong hockey. Some of it you notice statistically, and some of it you don't notice. Manning has 4 assists in his last 4 games, with this being the 4th game. We show the high sticking penalty on Flow Sports. Lubster got the high stick from Jarvis. If it failed to draw blood, that's why it was just a 2-minute penalty. Atlanta wins the draw and sails it over Hanson Buchanan's head. Koskiasua behind his net. A drop it for Hanson Bukata. And Serenade. Jarvis in the penalty box. Webster behind his net. They're kind of evolving the chant. Kind of now turns like a 20-second thing. Webster over the offensive line. He'll collide with Jack Mateer. Nychuk along the boards. Grizzly nearby. Atlanta races out towards center ice. Denemy loses control. Grizzly still in the offensive zone. Gratton feeds it off the left corner boards. Dancing around is Reed Webster. Webster 11 goals this season to lead Utah. Over to Shea. He feeds it up top. As Stucker gets to Gratton, back up top to Stucker. He's in the high slot, pedals to his right. Gets to Shea. Shea didn't have a passing angle to Stucker, but he feeds to the right goal line. Now back up top to Stucker. Now he'll get it back to Shea. One-timer, saved by Hyder. Rebound shot to score! Luke Manning gets his second of the year. And so that will make it a 4-0 hockey game. That's Utah's third power play goal of the night. Rebound was taken from the right. The shot was taken from the right side. Rebound out in front, and Luke Manning put it in the back of the net. We mentioned Manning does a lot of those things you don't see statistically. That one, that will count statistically. Manning went between the legs past Ethan Hyder. Shea took the shot, bounced off a Hyder, and then Manning with a crafty-looking shot. And so Luke Manning has a multiple-point game, 1 goal and 1 assist. So it's now a 4-0 hockey game. Atlanta skips into the Grizzlies game. Boy, Grizzlies fans, Grizzlies players, everybody in the Grizzlies organization is having a fun time tonight. Puck is iced but not called as the Gladiators back to neutral ice. Manning's goal was assisted by Shea and Robbie Stucker. That's Stucker's first assist as a Grizzly. This is the second game back in his second stint. He had 9 assists for the Grizzlies in 24 games at the end of the 2023-24 season. Puck at the Atlanta line. Genev is offside as Brendan Less pushes Genev after the whistle. 10:23 is left in the third period. It's 4-0 Utah. And if we think about that assist by Manning, scored by Webster there on the game, the buzzer beater, and then what can you say about that goal? Crafty one between the legs. Well, Luke Manning's had a night. Draws a new try after the Grizzlies were called for offside. Utah with 1 goal in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 here so far in the third. As Utah iced the puck, play stops with 10:15 left in the third. So Draws going to come back towards Casimir Koskiasua. Grizzlies fans are getting familiar with him, and I think Grizzlies fans are beginning to like him. Not only does he perform well on the ice, but he's a fun character off the ice. A lot of American Hockey League time, and he's actually had quite a bit of success in his time in the American Hockey League. So face-offs in the right circle. Both teams jostle for positioning. Jarvis gets, he fires towards the net, and where's the puck? Koskiasua is laying in his net, and it looks like Grizzlies have saved the day. I'm not sure anybody really knew where it was. It looked like Jarvis fired into traffic from the right wing. A lot of action in front of the crease. And somehow, some way, Koskiasua was able to keep it from crossing the goal line. Nobody from Atlanta is arguing that it should have been a goal. Still 4-0 Utah. Grizzlies have outshot the Gladiators 31-17. Draws over in the right circle. Grizzlies won it cleanly. That's Cooper Gay in his first season as a pro. Played 2 games with the Colorado Eagles at the end of last season after a college career at St. Thomas. And he has scored a goal in one of those 2 games with the Eagles. So already has a pro goal. Grizzlies out to center ice, and they'll flip it towards the Atlanta line. Webster overskates it. And Peter Morgan gets the puck. He'll stride along the left wing, skates towards the left circle, feeds it towards the left wing. Lefty's shot goes wide. That shot was taken by Riley Apalt. 6'3" and 200 pounds is Apalt. Puck towards the left corner, racing after it in the Atlanta zone. As Connors engulfed a Gladiator, and that was Nychuk. Now Nychuk gets the puck as both teams will switch up skaters. Atlanta slows it down deep in their own zone. Fans have had a good time here tonight. Gladiators get to center ice and they dump it in. Koskiasuo feeds to the far corner. Stuck over to Barbashev off his stick. Friesen, the Teddy Bear toss goal scorer, will tap it off the far wing boards. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. Les swings it around the wall. Puck goes back towards the left point. As Barbashev collides with Conroy. As Enns gets the puck, he's in the Grizzlies zone. Across to Weinstein, the 20-year-old wearing number 14. Ed to center ice. As Gillette nudged it ahead towards Friesen. Evan Friesen towards the left wing. Gets spun around with Les. Brendan Les gets back towards Carson Denemy. Denemy pushing the back by Weinstein. Webster now collides with Conroy. As Connors gets back checked by Les. No call. Back checked and cross checked. You name it, checked. Now both teams will switch up skaters. About 8.5 minutes left in the third period. Grizzlies lead 4-0. Evan Friesen scored a first period goal. Neil Shea and Reed Webster with power play second period goals. And Luke Manning with a power play goal. Off a rebound from a Shea shot. 9:02 into the third. Atlanta around the boards. As Jarvis fires towards the net. Too many sticks and bodies in the way. Webster throws it deep into the Gladiator zone. Grattan gets there first and no icing as Karabia gives him a rough ride along the wall. Danny Genev gets the puck. He feeds up top. Hanson Bukata bounces one in deep. Actually, it was Manning and not Genev. As Atlanta swings it along the boards. Cody Sylvester, the Atlanta captain, gets it towards Walter off his stick. Webster races over the offense line. Right point is righty shot blocker saved by Hyder. Atlanta backhands it to center ice. Weinstein at the Utah line. As he'll feed it ahead to Manning, who will push it back to Gansky. Gansky, rink wide feed angle left towards Weinstein. He collects it, gets to center ice, and he'll zip it around the boards. Gansky fakes a shot. Grizzlies fire righty shot, saved by Hyder. That shot, I believe, was taken by Timofeyev. As Mateer around the boards towards the near side, is lofted at center ice. Weinstein off his glove. He battles with Young. Gansky with the puck. He'll bounce one across towards Timofeyev, who will tap it off the glass. Puck hippity hops to the Atlanta line. Mateer ahead towards Sylvester off his stick. Hanson Bukata crosses center ice, and they'll skip it in. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. They're keeping their shifts pretty short here in the third period. As Ryan Nolan crosses center ice, he's a goal and an assist away from a Gordie Howe hat trick. Shea gets pushed to the boards by Young. Ends looking nearby. Hanson Bukata surveying. As a scrum along the far corner board. 6:38 on a moving clock, third period. As Shea continues to hold his ground. So does Colby Enns. Koskiasuo standing straight up in the crease. Grizzlies come out with a puck. Utah's won more of the 50-50 pucks here tonight than they did in the first two games of this series. Cooper Gay gets the puck. Gets shielded by Conroy. Conroy pushes Gay. Gay over in the left corner as Connors collides with Nolan. As the puck is sliced into the Grizzlies zone. No icing as Weinstein back in the Grizzlies zone. Big time hit away from the whistle at center ice as Conroy and Cooper Gay. Conroy says, "You want it?" Cooper Gay says, "Let's play hockey, little guy." Gay will skate towards the bench. And now Jarvis gets pushed to the boards by Gillette. Already seen two fights here tonight, both of them in the second period. Morgan skies it out to center ice. Puck near the Grizzlies bench, run down by Stucker. He'll backhand it across to Weinstein, who zips it to center ice. Barbashev gets pushed in the back by Mateer. As Atlanta getting physical, as Scardina pushes Friesen at center ice. Puck back in the Gladiator zone. Morgan ahead. Grizzlies don't play till Friday against Kansas City. Scardina races over the offensive line. Toe drag, backhand shot goes wide. Oh, beautiful move by Scardina, but just couldn't complete the deal. Puck back to neutralize. Barbashev races off the ice. He's a great natural athlete, Barbashev. Scardina will backhand it towards Koskiasuo. He keeps the play alive. 5:17 left in the third period. Grizzlies race out to center ice. Hanson Bukata over towards Grattan. He gets the stick lifted by Brendan Les. As Grizzly goes toppling over in the near corner. Grizzlies hacking away. Manning off his stick. Now Manning takes it away. He gets to Weinstein. Right point. He'll take a lefty shot, and that's blocked. As Cipollone in a foot race gets there before Weinstein. Cipollone feeds it towards Denemy. Left side, lefty shot goes wide. Less than 5 minutes left in regulation. As puck goes to Cipollone and feed it to the middle of the ice. It's cut off, and Utah moves out to center. Danny Genev gets the puck. They'll race along the right wing. They'll take a lefty shot. Kick saved by Hyder off his right pad. As Denemy moves it across. Gladiators stride out towards center ice. Nychuk moves it to the left wing. They're trying to get back to Nychuk on a give and go. It goes wide of him. as Grizzlies will clear it out to center ice and beyond into the Gladiators zone. Action still deep in the Atlanta end as they'll move it out to center ice. Burns pass to the middle of the ice off of Geneviev's stick. Boudon gets it. He skates out to center ice. He'll feed it towards Walter over in the right wing. Walter to the right goal line. Now he gets tripped up. That's going to be a penalty on Utah. Gansky gets the puck. 4 minutes, 1 second left. Utah leads 4-0. Atlanta's on the power play when we come back. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
4 minutes and 1 second left in the third period. Grizzlies lead the Gladiators 4-0. Noah Gansky's in the box, Smiths for tripping. Utah clears it out. Reed Lepster chasing after it in the left wing. He falls down. Nychuk nearby. Less than 4 minutes left, and the Grizzlies have been outstanding. 3 power play goals tonight. Evan Friesen scored the Teddy Bear toss goal late in the first period. Neil Shea and Reed Lepster with power play goals, and for Lepster, he scored with 0.3 seconds left in the second period. As Utah won a draw with 1.1 seconds left, and then in the third period, Luke Manning went between his legs to make it a 4-0 game, and that's where we sit. As Utah delivers some lumber, keeping it in. Nychuk will move it to the right side. Shot, glove save by Koskiasuo. Boudon had plenty on a one-timer. He fired a helicopter towards the waist of Koskiasuo, and he snatched it with 3:25 left in the third. Hey, welcome to Utah, Kasimir Koskiasuo. He's been outstanding tonight. He hasn't had to see a ton of action, but when he's needed to come up big, he's made some great saves. You wondered about rust a little bit with him having not played a game yet this season. Hey, English is hard sometimes, but Koskiasuo, he's mastered the art of goaltending here tonight. And so far, he's been a pro for many years. I think it's his 10th season as a pro that he's beginning here tonight. As drop one by the Grizzlies. As Utah pushes ahead, Weinstein gets to Ness. Ness moving out to center ice, where the Gladiators come back up with it. Young off his stick. Manning gets the puck. Oh, Young took it away from him. Boy, Luke Manning's been outstanding tonight. He might be a star. Sylvester to the middle of the ice. As Nychuk skates down the lefty, shot saved by Koskiasuo. He holds on with 3:07 left in the third. Well, Utah has had some brilliant goaltending performances here so far this season. As Louis Boudon having some words for the referee. Frustration starting to settle in on the Atlanta side. They haven't had many games like this so far this year. Great A effort by the Grizzlies here so far tonight. They're trying to play a complete 60 minutes, and they're on their way to doing so. So face-offs over in the left circle. It's taken to one by Luke Manning. He's been outstanding in the face-off circle. Ryan Nolan somehow kept it in the right point. As Mickey Burns gets it from Nolan in the right corner. Now up top, Conroy over to Nolan. He's in the right wing. Back up top, Conroy. He'll feed it to the left side. Francis is one-timer. He doesn't get much on it. 45 seconds left in Atlanta's power play as Gansky's in the box. To the middle of the ice, Grizzlies take it away. John Gillette gets to center ice. Nil skip it in as the Grizzlies will make a change. About 30 seconds left in the penalty kill for Utah. Grizzlies PK unit's been outstanding so far this season. Much improvement from last year. As Francis trying to skeet down the middle of the ice, he gets it taken away, and skying it out is Evan Freese, the teddy bear toss scorer. He might be a star tonight just for that. Conroy, late in the power play, gets towards the left wing. Nolan will bounce one off a Grizzly as Gansky stands up in the penalty box. 10 seconds left in the Atlanta power play. As towards the far goal line, backhand shot by Burns goes wide. 2 minutes left in the third period. 2 minutes of madness. Karabia fires towards the net, and that's blocked away by Weinstein. Weinstein will skip it all the way down. He ices the puck, and the whistle blows with 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the third. Grizzlies have taken 34 shots. Atlanta has 19. So Utah is just about on their average of what they've taken here recently. Coming into play tonight, the Grizzlies have averaged 35 shots per game. That's over the last 8 games. They're at 34 right now. And there aren't many fans that have led for the exits so far. Most of them are still here. A few fans have left, but they want to see if the Grizzlies can complete the 4-0 victory. Connors will take the draw right wing. Atlanta wearing jerseys in the same style as the Atlanta Knights, although if you don't know any better, and a lot of people probably wouldn't remember the Atlanta Knights, their 5-year run in the IHL in the 90s, look very much like the Utah Mammoth jerseys. In fact, almost identical. As the Mammoth make that the Gladiators out towards center ice, Morgan across the center red line, and he'll flop one on towards Koskiasuo. He stops the puck and holds on about waist high. 1:27 left in the third. Koskiasuo has now made 20 saves tonight. A little bit of commotion and conversation out in front of Utah's net. Now both teams will cease and desist. John Mechanic and Ryan Anderson, they have to be thrilled about this effort tonight. They've had their team ready to play. Grizzlies are hoping for some more luck on the road. Utah has been a pretty strong road team. They are 7-5-1 on the road. And obviously they've been looking to find a way to turn things around on the home side. Grizzlies will get their third home victory of the season. As Scardina's kicked out of the face-off circle against Luke Manning. Now, I'm not sure what Manning's face-off totals are. Unfortunately, we don't get those sort of things, but it's got to be outstanding tonight. This time, Atlanta wins the draw. Matier fires towards traffic. Puck bounces. Genev at his ankle. Puck lifts in the air. It's gloved and dropped by Manning. Manning gets back checked by Scardina. Scardina took the puck away from him. Now near the Grizzlies bench and slides it towards Hanson Bukata, who left wings it to Genev at center ice. And Morgan will bounce one back into the Grizzlies zone. 1:05 left in the third period. It's 4-0 Grizzlies. Gansky out to center ice past Timofeyev. And it's dancing around Conroy. There's up a right wing feed out to Morgan. Morgan will flop one to the right circle. Young in the offensive zone. He gets pushed to the boards by Gansky. As Grizzlies towards the corner. Genev. As Young tries to break free, pushes Gansky to the wall. Genev gets it out as the Grizzlies will carry it out to center ice. Timofeyev will nudge it in. Genev takes chasing after it. Atlanta will push it back to Utah ice. No icing on the play. It's run down by Robbie Stucker. 35 seconds left. Stucker dancing around. He gets around Ryan Nolan. As Stucker will push it to his left for Weinstein, who gets across center ice. Weinstein will float it in. 24 seconds left. Barbashev battles with Jarvis. You know, on Teddy Bear Toss night, you're always worried that your team's going to get shut out. Well, there is a shutout tonight, potentially. 14 seconds left. Dylan Wells with a 46-save shutout on October 24th. Kyle Kaiser in his Grizzlies debut had a shutout against Wichita. 5 seconds left. And in his Utah Grizzlies debut, Casimir Koskiasuo becomes the third different Grizzly player to get a shutout. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win 4-0, and there was no doubt about it. Casimir Koskiasuo gets his first shutout of the season. It's his Grizzlies debut, and it's as good as it can be. Grizzlies get 3 power play goals. Evan Friesen scored the Teddy Bear Toss goal. Neil Shea and Reed Lebster each had second period power play goals, and Lebster's was a thriller, a buzzer beater with 0.3 seconds left in the second period. Manning scored a third period power play goal between his legs. And what a complete 60-minute effort by John Mechanic's crew. He's one happy head coach as the Grizzlies get their 10th victory of the year. And this is the largest crowd at home so far this season of 6,081. And they were treated to a beauty. The Grizzlies salute this great crowd here at Maverik Center. as Utah's been outstanding in recent years, and their specialty jerseys, the ugly sweaters. Seems like year in and year out, the Grizzlies play well on this particular night. And once again, the Grizzlies come through with a grade A effort. Grizzlies waving the flag at neutral ice, and the Grizzlies were absolutely outstanding as they close out the homestand in style, salvaging the third game of the series. Final score, Grizzlies 4 and the Atlanta Gladiators nothing. Utah gets their first victory of the year against Atlanta. It's the last meeting all time in the regular season between the Grizzlies and Gladiators. Quite a few of the fans are looking to see who the 3 stars of the game are, and I'd hate to be the person that has to pick that because you got more than 3 options tonight. You got Evan Friesen scoring the Teddy Bear Toss goal. You have Luke Manning and Neil Shea each scoring 1 goal and 1 assist. You have Reed Lepster's buzzer beater at the end of the second period, and you got a shutout of 20 saves for Casimir Cassiasuo. Grizzlies had plenty of good scoring chances, and for the Grizzlies with an outstanding effort. John Buchanan, looks like we're going to get the 3 stars of the game. We'll hear him from public address announcer Mark Larson, followed up by an interview with Sammy Miller.
Tonight's 3 stars of the game. Tonight's 3rd star with 1 goal, number 11, Evan Friesen. And our 2nd star of the night with 1 goal, 1 assist, number 16, Luke Manning. And finally, your 1st star of the game, his first game as a Grizzly with 20 saves and a shutout, number 29, Casimir Cassiasuo. Let's throw it down to Chloe with tonight's 1st star, Casimir Cassiasuo.
All right, we can finally say the word now, shutout. So absolutely electric game, huge win. How are you feeling right now?
Awesome. It was fun to be playing back again. It was my first game of the season, so the team did a great job helping me out a bunch. So great way to finish the week like this.
When there's so many things going on in the game, fights and goals and such, how do you keep your focus in net to get a shutout like this?
Try not to think that's important for a goalie, and just trying to be in the moment and read the play and react, and be able to be dialed in.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a 20-save shutout for Casimir Cassiasuo. He had to make some big saves in the third period. Obviously, the outcome wasn't in doubt at any point in the third period, but he made some key saves to complete the shutout. And for the Grizzlies, it's the 3rd shutout by a goaltender this season. He's the 3rd different Grizzly goaltender to get a shutout this season. I can't imagine that's happened too many times in team history. Dylan Wells stopped all 46 shots he saw. It wasn't his first game as a Grizzly, but it was his 2nd game and his first win in a Grizzlies uniform. And that came on October 24th against the Idaho Steelheads. That was where Utah won 5-0. And then in his Grizzlies debut, Kyle Kaiser stopped all 29 shots he saw on November 7th in a Grizzlies 2-0 victory over the Wichita Thunder. It looks like the Grizzlies are going to take a team photo near center ice in what a moment as Grizzlies here in the final home game before the Christmas break. It looks like the Grizzlies are going to try something fun here. And they've got something going on around center ice. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It looks like we got Timo Fey. I mean, he's going to look for the hardest shot. Timo, I think we got a gender reveal. I had no clue what that was. Timo Fey have skated over there. It might have been his gender reveal. It's a boy. Unbelievable. And it might be Timo Fey's kid. I don't know. Everybody's going around him. So they put something there. Stepan Timofeyev had his own gender reveal after the game. All the teammates are around him. He skated around like he was in a hardest shot competition. And he took the shot, and I was expecting a puck to go into the net, and instead some blue smoke. Stepan Timofeyev and his significant other is going to have a boy. Now that is the capper to an amazing night here at Maverik Center. You know, Guy Krenz and I were half joking that this was going to be the greatest night in league history. Well, it was for one of us. And some great moments tonight. I don't know if that tops it all. I didn't know that was going to happen. A gender reveal after a Grizzlies victory, as there's a lot of blue stuff. I don't know what you have in a gender reveal. A lot of blue smoke and things on the ice. And the social media team was able to capture it all. And that is the exclamation point on the Grizzlies' 4-0 victory over the Atlanta Gladiators. Ending with a gender reveal. It starts with a teddy bear toss and ends with Stepan Timofeyev revealing to the world that he's going to have a boy. Teddy bear toss night, and with that, a lot of fun things happening here in and around the Maverik Center. And obviously, teddy bear toss is one of the great traditions of sports. Grizzlies got on the board late in the first period as John Gillette took a shot from the right side. It was blocked by Ethan Hyder. Friesen got the rebound. It might have not been the first look, but it was the second shot that went past Hyder. That was 16:55 into the first period. I'm not sure you've gotten a total of teddy bears just yet, but I got to imagine it's a new team record, and this is the Grizzlies' final hunt. Utah led 1-0 after one period. They outshot the Gladiators 13-5. In the second period, Grizzlies early in the frame had to kill off a 5-on-3 power play. They killed off the 5-on-3 and the 5-on-4. Utah was 3 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight, and they've been unbelievable recently as the penalty kill over the last 6 games is 21 for 22. And then later on in the second period, there was a fight between Louis Boudon and Griffin Ness. That was 8:02 into the second period. Grizzlies got a power play later in the second period as Ryan Conroy got 2 minutes for delay of game. And Neil Shea converted on a rebound on a Tyler Gratton shot. Gratton fired away from the slot with a tremendous amount of velocity. Bounced off a Hyder. Bouncing puck towards the left wing. Shea got it, and he fired it past the goal line. It's his 6th goal of the year. Gratton and Hanson Buchanan with the assists. Aiden Hanson Buchanan now has 7 power play assists on the season. For Neil Shea, he's been a strong power play performer. That is his team leading 4th power play goal of the year. And for Tyler Gratton, he joins the double-digit assist club. It's his 10th assist of the season. Later on in the second period, there was another fight. Ryan Nolan and Maxim Barbashev, 1948, and as Barbashev lit up, it was either Conroy or Andrew Jarvis. And then Ryan Nolan says, we're going to fight right here and right now. Nolan took his gloves off, and before Barbashev was able to take his gloves off, Nolan was already swinging away with rights. And with that, Nolan got 2 minutes for instigating, and obviously Nolan and Barbashev each got 5 for fighting. So that gave Utah a late second period power play. And with that, Neil Shea took a shot from the high slot with 1.1 seconds left. His stick broke. The puck just kind of swiveled towards Hyder, and there was a whistle. There was 1.1 second put back on the clock. And Luke Manning won a faceoff cleanly in the right wing, right towards Lebster, and Lebster fired at stick side past Hyder with 0.3 seconds left in the second period. That gave Utah a 3-0 lead. I feel bad for the people trying to beat the concession line, as that meant that they missed a goal, and a spectacular one by Reed Lebster, one of the best moments we'll see all season. Grizzlies got a power play in the third period as Andrew Jarvis got a high-sticking minor, and it was late in the power play where a shot was taken by Neil Shea from the right wing, bounced off a Hyder. Manning got the rebound, flipped it between his legs, and passed the goal line and passed Hyder. It's Manning's 2nd goal of this season. He had 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. Shea with 1 goal and 1 assist. And Robbie Stucker picked up his first assist as a Grizzly in his second stint. He had 9 helpers in 24 games towards the end of the 2023-24 season. And completing the shutout, Casimir Cassiasuo, he's outstanding throughout. He hadn't seen a ton of shots, 5 in the first, 7 in the second. He made 8 key saves in the third, and he picked up a 20-save shutout. He's the 3rd different Grizzlies goaltender to get a shutout this season. And we got to go to the record books to see how many shutouts he has had. That's his first shutout since the 2021-22 season when he was in Sweden. He had 2 shutouts that year. His career high was 4 as a pro, and that was 4 shutouts with the 2018-2019 Toronto Marlies. He ended up with, 7 shutouts with the Marlies, 2 with Colorado. Had 1 shutout in this league with Orlando in the 2016-2017 season. In 2 college seasons at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and he was a UMD Bulldog and a really good one for 2 years. He had 6 college shutouts. And in his Grizzlies debut, stopped all 20 Atlanta shots as the Grizzlies come away with a 4-0 victory. And then after the game, and after the 3 stars were announced, all the players came out. They put something at center ice, and Stepan Timofeyev looked like he was in a hardest shot competition. Got the puck, and he fired it, and blue smoke was going everywhere. And apparently Stepan Timofeyev and his significant other are going to have a boy. It started with a teddy bear toss and ends with a gender reveal, and a lot of great hockey in between as the Utah Grizzlies come through with a 4-0 victory. Fans were treated to everything. They saw the fight there, and if you're watching on Flow Sports, there's a Barbashev-Nolan fight. Then Shea took the shot, and a stick broke. They put some time back on the clock, 1.1 second left in the second. Clean face-off, and Lepster scores. Unbelievable, and that's about the only way you can get it done with 1 second. Manning to Lepster to the back of the net. And with that, what a thriller. Manning gets the lone assist. And I was thinking about Hanson Bukata on the right wing, but Lepster lifts his stick in the air in celebration. What an amazing goal that was, and what a moment. That gave Utah a 3-0 lead. And the Grizzlies, and, coaches always talk about it, wanting to play a full, complete 60-minute effort. And that's what the Grizzlies got tonight, as it was a complete 60-minute effort from start to finish. Grizzlies won the 50-50 pucks, and they did it against a really good Atlanta Gladiators team. Utah's record goes to 10-12-2 on the year, and Atlanta is 16-6. Gladiators do win 2 of the 3 games in this series, but the Grizzlies, once again, salvaged the 3rd and final game of the series. And yes, once again, Saturday night's all right for a victory. Utah is now 5-1-1 on Saturdays this season. As Manning scored the 3rd period goal, as he high-fives everybody on the Grizzlies bench for watching on Flow Sports. And if you're watching on Flow Sports, I know it's not cheap, but you got your money's worth there. Konski Asua with some big saves late in the 3rd period, and the Grizzlies are really from start to finish. And this is one of the best 60-minute efforts I've seen the Grizzlies play all season. The Grizzlies come away with the 4-0 victory. Atlanta won Wednesday night by a 6-3 score, and then 5-1 on Friday and tonight. And what can you say? Just about everything went right for the Grizzlies this evening, and in front of a season-high crowd of 6,081. You can't ask for much more. And you got to know that just about everybody that's leaving this game enjoyed themselves, and you hope they come back for Grizzlies games later on in this season. Well, it's the final home game before Christmas. The Grizzlies will have 3 road games next week, Friday and Saturday. They'll be at Cable Dahmer Arena to take on the Kansas City Mavericks, and Sunday against the Tulsa Oilers. Timofeyev, it looks like a puck, though, they shot and turned out to be a gender reveal. Of all the moments tonight, somewhere to be expected. You knew if the Grizzlies were going to score, we're going to see a crazy amount of teddy bears, and we saw that. With the gender reveal, and everybody was just so thrilled for Timofeyev. Kaz got the first hug on him, and what a moment. And you can see the Grizzlies, they're a team that's got a ton of personality, and it's been a fun unit here so far this season. The Grizzlies are, from game to game, just looking for a little bit of consistency, and if they play like they did tonight most nights, it's going to be quite the season in the Utah Grizzlies' final hunt. Well, what can you say? We've had a great deal of, I guess that word is fun. And hopefully that's the theme of the season, is fun. And the Grizzlies, with a complete 60-minute effort, come away with the victory tonight, 4-0, and they salvage the 3rd game of the series. Don't forget to join us on Friday night over at Cable Dahmer Arena, and don't forget to go to the Dash Auction app and make the final bid for the ugly sweater. That's what the Grizzlies wore tonight. For watching on Flow Sports, it was quite the look. And the Grizzlies, and thinking back to the last handful of years on Ugly Sweater Night, this type of night in December on a Saturday, the Grizzlies have been unbelievable. The nonprofit of the night, I Care for Kids. Go to I Care for Kids. That's I Care, the number 4, kids.org, and be part of that organization, which is outstanding, as they are the nonprofit of the night, and they've done some outstanding things. Go to I Care for Kids. That's the number 4, kids.org. Well, that'll just about wrap things up. We had an amazing amount of time. Don't forget the next Grizzly broadcast will be on Friday night as Utah takes on Kansas City. That's the start of a 2-game series. And then the Grizzlies, after Saturday's game, will get on a bus and travel to Tulsa to face the Oilers at 2 p.m. before the Christmas break. And the next home game for the Grizzlies will be the day after Christmas, Friday, December 26th, as they take on the arch rival, Idaho Steelheads. Once again, in 2 hours and 36 minutes and in front of a good crowd of 6,081. We saw just about everything tonight. We saw a shutout. We saw 2 second-period fights. We saw a buzzer beater with Reed Webster. And we saw a crazy amount of teddy bears as Evan Friesen scored with 3:05 left in the first period. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.